I hear you.
Yeah, I know you do.
I was walking on the ground, I didn't make a sound. Then I turned around and I saw a clown. Had a frown, stood on a mound, started barking like a hound. When I came to it, I found he showed me something that was brown. So we became great friends, and late in life, he got sick. I gave him some soup, but he got worse. It asked for its purse. It got it, but it was empty, so it cried aplenty. I wondered what to do. I didn't know what to think, so I got a drink. And then I showed it something that was round. Then it died, smiled, fell on the ground. Back about those days with the clown, I get teary-eyed and really snide. I think that deep down, I hated that clown, but not as much as Mr. Farr. I'm gonna go smoke a cigar. Walking on the ground, I didn't make a sound, and then I turned around, I saw a clown. Clown. Clowny clown, clown. I hate you, clown. Your ugly frown, smiley lips. I think I'll clip you across the nose, clown. Want the cigar? We'll get you real far. Like Mr. Farr. Get it? Mr. Farr? Clown.
How about that?
Mr. Farr, I'm not sure I get it. But didn't Crispin wear that outfit on the David Letterman show? Oh, you're much younger than I am, but I think that's the exact when he had those platform shoes and the pants with the I think he wore that on David Letterman. It freaked David Letterman out. It was great. Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. This is Todd Quality Jaeger and
Captain Cartoon here.
Thank you.
Another.
Now, again, I'm going to say, do I need to point this way if I'm pointing to you, or this way?
Yeah.
This way.
Yeah.
This way.
Yep. That.
Okay. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. After what? This is our 6th episode, and I still can't get the. Oh well. Anyway, welcome. This is episode 7, Season of the Witch. That's a good way to put it. Welcome to the Todd Jaeger Experience. As I said, I'm Todd Jaeger. Todd Quality Jaeger. Wait, I'll get that right. And obviously, Cheesecake Man, cheesecake. I have to do that. And then my t-shirt today is, of course, Sirloin and Dr. Zuma's Cheesecake Man, cheesecake from the Cheesecake series from Slasher Man, which is Neil Jones, or his Without Your Head creations on TeePublic. I am Sirloin, holding my leather strap, wearing my leather jacket and leather jock strap. And there's Dr. Zumas, Bill Weeden, with his butt all nice and red from my leather strap. That is a scene from Psycho Ape 2, The Wrath of Kong. Thank you, right there. And if you haven't seen that movie, well, it is very meta, so you might want to watch Psycho Ape before you venture into Psycho Ape 2. And Psycho Ape 2 is star-studded, man. Everybody's in this thing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm very proud of my role in it. It's only about 20 seconds. But there were other scenes shot. But the joke was they wanted to keep the movie to 66 minutes, 2 minutes longer than Psycho Ape. So we shot scenes in an alley. There were scenes of Bill trying to eat cheesecake while I'm pulling on a collar that was yeah. Maybe those will one day turn up in a deleted scenes section, which I would love to see. But until then, you just get me strapping.
Oh, we can recreate something like that with the short.
Yeah. Well, that's the intention. Bill would love to get a series of Sirloin and Dr. Zoomis shorts going. Hopefully one day we can work on that. And but we'll see. So today on the show, he hasn't responded to me yet, which is weird because he did before we came on. Our guest today will hopefully be White Gardenia. He is famous for, oh shit, the bed. I just had, okay. Life is weird because I just had the freak. Oh, there it is. I want to call it John Calvin, but it's let's see here. And other excerpts from the King James Bible is what the title of this Blu-ray is. And no, this is not a Pure Flix nor Angel Studios production. Very surreal, experimental art thing. Oh, there's a message for me. White just messaged me. He gave me the thumbs up, so I don't know if that means he'll be joining us now or soon. We'll just keep going until he does. Now that person right there is, I don't believe is white, but an actor named Daniel Valient, appearing in a few of White's shorts. They're different. Let's put it that way. I thought when I saw The Benefactress and we talked with Guerrilla Metropolitana that was very off the grid experimental stuff. But after watching White's shorts, yeah.
Oh boy.
And so we'll see what all ensues when White joins us. But in the meantime, I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm all excited because, all right, tariffs. Everybody's, messed up over these current administration's tariffs going on. This is September 7th, 2025. And everyone knows, and you know who is behind all this stuff. And it's messing up a lot of, deep thoughts. I love you, Chris. All these boutique labels that are in places like Canada and Europe are having issues. I've gotten emails from Dark Side, from Retro Gold 63, from Tetra Video, all about how they can't currently ship to the US because of all this mess. So, it's screwing up the economy. It's messing with people wanting to do their collecting. And now, for Dark Side releasing out of Canada, they've released a lot of Domiziano Cristoforo's films. And there's another one coming out in October, Unburied Tales, which I voiced 2 actors in. However, the current 2 that were just released for Halloween, which I have voiced 2 characters in this, and his documentary Indiocracy. You can only get these right now 2 ways if you're in the United States, and that is on Amazon and on Movies Zing, ZYNG. And these are not the slipcover editions. So I'm worried that when we can finally order from Dark Side again, hopefully I'll have to double dip because I want those slip covers. And also released that you can get through Movie Zing or Amazon, Joe Badon's, as I say, The Wheel of Heaven, which is a masterpiece. If you've also seen Sister Tempest, this movie you gotta have. It's intricate. We'll have to talk about that one day. I did a review on Without Your Heads Horror Podcast, the Todd Sampler. Look for The Wheel of Heaven, and you'll love my review of that, I'm sure. And I would one day. Oh, Joe Badon is hopefully going to be on next week, correct? So get those at Movie Zing, ZYNG, or Amazon, and you'll be glad you did. And well, it looks like we've got. Well, it says Daniel Valient.
Hello,
No,
can you hear me, Todd?
I can hear you vaguely.
Okay, I'm sorry. I hope. Let's see. Let me see if I can make it so you can hear me better.
Okay, because what I do is I have my Yeti Blue microphone plugged into my computer, and I have my headphones plugged into the Yeti microphone.
Okay.
That's how I sound nice and beautiful. But we'll make it work somehow. We'll hear all the rest. Folks, this is honest to goodness real life instead of a slick FM DJ podcast where we chuckle. This is how things go in the wonderful world of modern tech. Well, it was a little.
Let me ask you one question real quick.
Sure.
Were you able to connect with Bones? I think he's messaging me.
Oh,
He's asking me if his let's see. He's asking if you can send him a link to StreamYard.
okay. Because I did not get to catch Brock's stuff, but he's welcome on. Let's see here. You sent me a link to his Facebook page, but I did not message him.
Okay, I tried to send him a link to StreamYard. For some reason, I'm not able to. I don't know why.
Okay. Well,
And-
we're having fun here live on the Todd Jaeger Experience. Let me go back to, I will scroll. I'm going to scroll back to the link you sent me on Facebook, and then I will message him, and I will say, what?
Oh, thank you, Todd. I appreciate that.
I'm
standby.
sending him. Well, according to the message thing. Okay, no, I have not messaged him yet, and I'll say, Todd, here's the link, and I'll type StreamYard, send, and we'll see if he joins in. Otherwise, yeah, we can hear you. I mean, Jack, you can hear him too, but it just sounds very faint, right?
Yeah. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. It's not very loud.
I'm getting, I hate to say I'm really low-fi. I don't have much technical proficiency. I'm actually at my public library in the parking lot, so I can have internet. Because I live in a part of Montana that's very off the grid. And so I'm just sitting in the parking lot in my car.
Oh my God, I hope it's not too hot.
Well, it is. Now that you mention it, it is getting kind of warm.
Well, it is like it's nearly 100 or something where I'm at. So, I see light flickering. Do you have camera capability yet, or you just?
I don't usually. My camera doesn't usually work. I'm not sure why. I apologize. I was trying to get it to work today.
At least we know what's what. Okay.
Yeah. I apologize. Brock should be Mr. Bones should be up to speed. He should have working equipment and
Okay.
working
Well,
video.
Now, so our viewers can understand better.
Yeah.
So we refer to you as White, or what they have on the screen here, which is Daniel Valient.
Daniel Valient is great, or White Gardenia, either one of those.
Okay. I wanted to get that clarified so we don't have people confused, because we were saying White Gardenia is going to be on the show and they're going to say, who's this guy?
Right,
So,
right.
No worries. We got that taken care of. So I guess while we've got you on and all that's straightened out as it is, so we've got a little photo up in the corner that will give people an idea of who they should be looking at.
Excellent.
And now, I will say, of course, first, I knew you through the connections in the film community before I had ever seen anything of yours. And then I picked up your Blu-ray of, oh, geez, I just had it in my hand and now it's
probably John Calvin and other excerpts from the King James Bible.
Yeah, here it is. Oh man, you can tell I'm professional. There it is, John Calvin, and
Bones was involved with that. Bones made one of the segments for that. Multiple people were helping me with that project. It's part of the longer project, which is the King James Bible, and the King James Bible is clocking in about 4.5 hours. So I'm kind of trying to slowly. I'm continuing to edit it. It's kind of like
wow. So that's why this says an excerpts from. Okay.
Yeah, this is like one different a way to. I took some of the segments that will be in the longer King James Bible, plus some of the segments that didn't quite fit into that longer version, and I made kind of a shorter version, which kind of tracks through the Bible using a different narrative than the main film will use.
Well, we're gonna put up. What do we got here? We've got a Lamentations. Okay, let's see what we got that playing now. Let's see what's this. Okay.
Let me see. Hi there.
Hey, we're looking in on Lamentations here.
Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah, sorry, this is the first time I use this. It's kind of hard to.
That's cool. There we go. Oh wow. Okay. Now that one right there, that was not on the Blu-ray, was it?
That is.
It is. Okay. I remember it now. It's just that I wanted to make sure I had everything straight, because I remember when I watched this, I don't partake in things, if you know what I mean, but it had a very affecting dreamlike quality to it. So I'm trying to remember what I remember. But that right there, I would say, says a lot without having to have a direct plot, so to speak. It's in a way like performance art, I would say, obviously.
Yeah, I think, and like you say, I think it's kind of trying to communicate more in stream of consciousness, or using kind of like dream logic more than. But then some of the segments, like Bones' segment, is pretty grounded, like a normal narrative, which is why his is so great. It's Bones' segment numbers is so good because it's that kind of is more a traditional biblical thing, while the other stuff is pretty ethereal. That kind of brings it down back to ground level. And great to see you, Bones. Glad you could get on.
Yeah, I will jump in and say those little noises that you hear on the show each week is the bird. Captain Cartoon's bird loves that microphone or camera, right? And the bird's just always nearby. So those little rustling and scraping sounds you hear is the bird.
What kind of bird is it?
So Jack, what kind of bird is it that you have?
Bourbon's a little sparrow.
Cool.
And yeah, so all that rustling you hear, that's Bourbon having fun. So sometimes you'll see the tail and stuff around the screen. So always a welcome guest. But so Brock, you did more than one segment?
No, I just did a feature length, not a feature length, but semi-long segment in numbers. And in the Blu-ray that you have there, it's like probably the first half of it, just like a little like sneak peek of it.
Okay, there we go, right there. And like I said, it was interesting because it's like if you put the Blu-ray in, it's like having an art exhibit on your TV. You get I don't want to say a slideshow, but it's like little moving bits and text and things, and it's just kind of, again, it's a visual performance art, definitely. And then you do have what I would call the live segments that kind of come in, intermix with it. And
I wanted the whole thing. The premise was that I love silent films. Like I love, like Broken Blossoms by D.W. Griffith and Eric von Stroheim, different silent film directors. And so I was trying to, basically that was kind of the template with silent films, but then, also the ability to, and then kind of flexible with that format. So stuff like Bones' segment, it does have dialogue, and but generally most of it, what you played there, Lamentations, was directed by Corey Deian Cowie, and then
Corey, we love Corey.
Right, excellent. And
she also was in Fallacies.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
She's close.
So was I. Yeah.
Because we talked about Fallacies last week.
Oh, nice.
No, I myself was the voice of the person on the other side of the unglorious hole.
Oh, really?
The cackling laugh, that was me. And then for the new version that will be released at some point, Demiziano asked me to record the narration that you see at the beginning of Fallacies. You will hear my voice reading it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was all thrilled to be a part of that. Demiziano asked me at the last minute, and he just said, "Laugh like the woman in The Shining." So I did. No, I'm proud to be a part of that one, especially now that I'm going to have a second voice in it. But so that was you in Fallacies, right, Brock?
Yeah, I directed Suck.
Oh, I thought you were actually in it too.
Well, yeah, I did act in it too.
Ah, yeah, that's right. See, I recognize the face. I'm kind of like, okay, now I know who it is. No, I had said I said on last week's show that I really admired what you did, and
I appreciate
I like that you're very comfortable doing what you did. That was one of the reasons Domitiano first contacted me. He saw my Vimeo. I have a Vimeo page under Todd Jaeger, and he said, I like your voice, I like your style, and I like that you're comfortable naked. So, but what I also appreciated in your segment was like, your segment had what I would say were real people in it instead of aiming for super, and I'm not knocking your looks at all. I am saying instead of super pretty people to make it appealing, regular people appeared in your segment. And that's what I like. I like people who are real and accessible. And in my own taste, I would say that is a lot more attractive than super pretty people. So I really loved your segment, and I believe you had some bits in the documentary too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, a chunk of it. I almost blew my hand up making something for that I never ended up actually using. So
oh yeah, I remember. Okay, now I remember watching, because the one guy you had in your video, he was on one of those exercise bikes too.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really glad you joined in as well, because I really loved your segment, and I remember telling John and Domitiano, I said Brock's really cool. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
This is wow, we're like so great to have you on. And for those who may have joined in, White Gardenia or Daniel is giving us a nice beige, is that the sepia square there, because he's not on camera at the moment, but we do hear him. So now
audio distorted, or does it sound pretty, or am I coming in pretty clear?
You sound fine.
Okay.
It's not, it's not crystal clear, but it's totally there.
Excellent.
It's at least you don't sound like this, because I've been with some people who they sound like they had their hand over their mouth, but you're totally clear. It's great. And I like the earth tone that we have on your screen, because I'm sort of an earth colors guy. The other thing I wanted to mention is, for those also joining in maybe for this, John Calvin and other excerpts from the King James Bible. Thankfully, this is not something that you would see PureFlix nor Angel Studios put out.
Yeah, it's definitely not God's Not Dead.
Oh my God. Well, see, and there's irony in me saying that. Yeah, I've got issues.
Yeah, PureFlix is a fucking weird company.
Well, here's the thing about PureFlix, and if anyone from PureFlix sees this, I don't care. The thing about PureFlix movies is your character, if you star in a movie by them, your character by the end of the film will either see the light or die.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if you're of a different faith, you will see the light. Like not caring that there are other beliefs, it's a tunnel vision kind of thing. And it always annoyed me, people, because of, they would come up to me, oh, you got to see this movie, it's the truth. I'm like, do not talk to me.
I don't think a movie with Kevin Sorbo has any truth in it, but
oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. And
one of the things I wanted to emphasize with this film, and I hope it gets the point across towards the end, is that my conception of Christianity is that everyone has to end up in heaven, like everyone has to end up in
Yeah.
their version of heaven, and so that's called universalism in Christian theology, the idea that no faiths are excluded and no atheists are excluded, but everyone, all of civilization has to end up in heaven. And so that was kind of important, because I thought there's not really, because the other basis of the film is Calvinist theology, which is John Calvin, and that's the idea that everything's predestined. And so to have that work, it has to be that everyone ends up in heaven. So that's I hopefully I avoid the pitfalls of other Christian films, which, I mean, there's other Christian films that are quite good, but hopefully I avoid the pitfalls which are exclusionary, including Passion of Christ, which is a great film. Well, I do think Mel Gibson is a great director, but that does have, from what I understand, Mel Gibson is very exclusionary, in that he believes, if you don't come through specifically through the way laid out by Christianity, you maybe do end up in hell. And I wanted to make it clear in this film that, heaven, my personal belief is that heaven, everyone will end up in heaven. Some people might not even some people might like the idea of oblivion, and perhaps you have that option as well, that you can just remain dead, that you don't have to, go to heaven. You don't have to be reborn. You don't have to be resurrected. But so that, I believe that's the future of the human race. And, I lay it out in the film that the way that connects, Christian theology connects with, I think, extropic theory and transhumanism. And but that's vitally important, just as a starting point, to know that everyone will be saved, to use Christian terminology. Everyone will be saved, because
with everything being reinterpreted and rewritten, over the 1,000 or so years, it's really hard to say what's what if you believe in that. So I like that you have a more direct feeling about it.
I'm looking at it through the prism of two things, like extropic theory, which is the idea that the human race will develop technology that will allow them to live forever, and this kind of notion that the Bible is predicting that, when the Bible is predicting resurrections in the far future, that it could be predicting that humans will live forever. And then I'm also talking about MWI, which the quantum physics, that's a theory of quantum physics, which is talking about the idea of parallel universes, and that the reason that, so that the notion of MWI, the many worlds of interpretation, is that every physically possible event is happening out in this like sprawling multiverse of possibilities, but it's actually physically happening. And many scientists, atheist scientists like Richard Dawkins, Stephen Hawking, subscribe to this. And so I'm kind of like taking that and like using that as a template, using that, mapping Christianity out over that, and saying, here's how this is relevant, and how this facilitates immortality. But you could map out any religion. You could map out Buddhism. You could map out Judaism. There's a lot of things you could. I'm trying to reconcile and say that science is not incompatible from religion.
Right. I myself, I remember when I was a little kid, I think I was baptized, I don't know, Lutheran, Protestant, I don't know what it was. I can't remember. And then when my stepdad came along, we went to a Baptist church, which I got to say was unbearable for me, because you sat through an hour of Sunday school and then 2 hours of a church service with like a half-hour ranting sermon included in there. And I, as a kid, my brother and I used to get, do little things to get us. My parents would go, here's the keys, go sit out in the car. So we would go sit out in the car and listen to Casey Kasem's Top 40. And we knew that when we got home, we'd be in trouble. But we didn't care, because we couldn't stand it. And plus, I only got rebaptized because I was pissed that I couldn't drink the cute little cups of grape juice, because in the Baptist church they serve grape juice, not wine. I thought it was so cool, the little tiny cracker, and then I mean, it was like a thimble of grape juice, and I thought that was so cool. But of course, I was a kid. I was a little kid, which says a lot about indoctrination. I think it's crazy that, you know, they're saying, oh, they're indoctrinating our kids into LGBTQ and all this kind of stuff and the beliefs. But what do you think indoctrinating kids into religion in general can do? So I remember finally at about junior high, I begged my parents, please don't make me go with you guys. We've by then switched to something that goes by United Church of Christ, and which was more loose. And I remember it in about junior high or so, I was like, please don't make me go anymore. I don't get it. I don't get this. Everyone, when they recite things in unison, everyone's like mumbling. It's like there's no feeling put into it. You stand up, you sit down, you talk about it. Just none of it made any sense to me. And the Bible itself, all the language was wherefore thus thou, almost, you know, and I just didn't get it, and I didn't want to get it.
Are you currently, would you say that you have kind of a belief system, or would you say you're kind of more atheist or agnostic at this point?
Yeah, the latter. I'd like to think there'd be something cool. Now, I am what you call an Usui Reiki master teacher. So I do Reiki and I can teach it. And I know a lot of people that do Reiki believe that everything is energy, and that once you pass on or transition, which now, of course, the word transition means different things these days. Yeah. So what I mean by transition is passing on or after you die. And a lot of people that do Reiki and that, I mean, I'm still kind of, but they believe that your spirit is actually energy that goes out into the universe, and that when you do Reiki, what you're helping channel through when you do that on people is intelligent energy. And that sounds cool. And of course, without total proof, that's why when I have people trying to say, oh, but you got to have faith. And I said, well, that's what every religion says. And no, but it's the one true. And I'm like, yeah, that's what every religion says. So I'm like, okay, show me some proof, which, you know, right. If God was able to talk to people 2,000 years ago with a fiery hand in the sky or a burning bush or something, why not now? And I'm not knocking anyone who believes, because I have friends, close friends that go to church or still, they just don't try to, you know, at me. And so I'm very open to hearing what people have to say. And I kind of like what you have I do like what you have to say about it, because it gives people, it's a more deep thought rather than just accepting what you've been told since you were a kid. And
well, what you're saying about every religion relies on faith is interesting, because right now the modern Christian conservative community, the kind of community that I come from, is really at the point, because there's enough scientific evidence, there's just this stream of scientific evidence saying the world is not the way Christians think it is. Like, there's enough evidence to say evolution is true.
Yeah, I mean, to think that everything's only 2,000 years old, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And again, it's all coming from things that have been rewritten and re-edited and changed according to how kings had their own, you know, view. And if you look around right now, especially with the modern conservatism and the Christian nationalism and all that, it totally goes against everything they supposedly are to be taught as far as teaching.
Young Earth creationists are pretty delusional, to be honest.
Oh my God.
I've dived into them quite a bit, and I find it extremely entertaining, but like they have to deny so much.
It frightens me a bit too that, you know, we have, especially people right now, in the whole QAnon thing and everything,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
you know, they'll say, for instance, what I do, Reiki, is ridiculous. Somebody said, all I need is Jesus. I don't need Reiki. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. But it just, they totally, everything they do, everything they say goes against supposedly Jesus' teachings and everything.
Well, as far
It's
as QAnon,
yeah.
as far as QAnon, that whole conspiracy culture, a lot of that is, I think you can trace that back to the fact that science was completely at odds with Christianity, at least traditional Christianity, and the idea, for instance, of evolution, of natural selection. And so at a certain point, they thought, okay, science is telling us that life is meaningless. So at that point, they completely decided to reject science. And when you reject science, you have to reject not just the science textbooks, but you have to reject what what they call deep state. They have to say, well, there must be this deep state that wants to that is creating this false history that's telling us, giving us, teaching us bad stuff in the schools, that's teaching us. So not just, you're not just rejecting the science books, you're rejecting the history books. And then you start thinking, you can't believe the media, you can't believe the science books, you can't believe all these different ways that humans gather information. And so that's what the conspiracy theory then becomes so dangerous, because you can justify anything with conspiracy theories.
Oh,
And-
the whole pizza basement thing, and
right,
the Democrats
Pizzagate.
eating babies and all that, and Jewish space lasers and the
Really,
and we got people in Congress. How did they get? I mean, people elected them, and they're supposedly helping shape laws and stuff. And here they are, and then they would turn around and say something like what I do is completely ridiculous. And again, too, it's also about teaching one specific, well, not one specific religion, but a version of Christianity in schools. And that really scares me, that, like was it Arkansas or something, or that they're, the Bible's got to be in the classroom. Well, what about if you're a different faith? What about if you have no religion? And it's like when they added under God in the Pledge of Allegiance. That's basically forcing people to do that, say that, and also the "In God We Trust" when it was put on coins. And then they don't care about other religions, other people's beliefs. It's got to be this, and you got to live under that rule. Because I've actually had someone tell me, and I said, well, no, your freedom of religion means your freedom to practice it, not you dictating how we live according to your religion. And also, it also means freedom from religion. But they're like, no, it shouldn't be that way. It's like, well, unless you can prove to me what you're doing or what you're saying actually exists, give me some proof here.
It's all infighting too, because they all have different versions and believe different things of like just the Bible. So it's kind of challenging. I mean, they'll never get their way. So
no, and it's right now the way things are in the U.S. I'm just glad there are people that have more energy to do all this fighting back, and trying to keep.
I'm actually amazed that there's not, and I think it's somewhat known that that I used to work for the Republican Party, and that I think it's somewhat known that I have like a obsession with Trump, and I'm amazed that there's not more of a pushback against MAGA, because what amazes me is that, for instance, the LGBT groups it seems like there's a moral high ground where they can say, you guys, you Republicans are judging us. You're saying we're immoral, and you're saying, all these things about transgender, and you're basically pushing us into the margins and saying that we're mentally ill and these things. Whereas the Christian conservatives have chosen one of the most immoral, a guy who appeared in 3 porno films, who's cheated on his wife multiple times, who who's probably a pedophile. It's like almost certain he's a pedophile, and somehow the Christian conservative movement has like used this guy as their figurehead, and not just used him as a figurehead, but said if you don't like Trump, if you don't kneel to Trump, you'll be treated like Liz Cheney or Adam Kinzinger or any of these other Republicans that on moral grounds have said we don't want this guy who's, you know, unethical and immoral. And so it amazes me that for instance, the LGBT and gays and lesbians and transgender people haven't been able to make that case, haven't been able to say, how can you call us immoral when you have this guy as your leader and you guys have this guy, the God that you guys
I think I know why a lot of them basically just kind of look the other way on it is because of things like trying to get laws passed that or make things easier to discriminate in the workplace or stopping funds for care and all that kind of stuff. It's because as long as he takes care of the gays and abortion, he gives us that, we'll support him. They don't care about everything. They don't care about all the bad things actually being done or that he has done. It's like, well, give us the stop the abortion, stop the gays. We'll support you whatever way. And whenever I see the images of them, all the people with the hands on the shoulders and all that kind of stuff, like praying and all, it's so obviously not, you know, how can you believe that? But people, like you said, they don't care. They will just do it because they're getting kind of what they want out of it. And it's bad because
I think that's a pretty good analysis of it, Todd. I think that what it is, and actually the film I put out a few years ago, Split, is kind of related to that concept because I think it's Machiavellianism in its purest form, in that Christianity took on this kind of ruthless new posture about 2016, about the time Trump got elected, and it was kind of a mindset of like we don't care anymore. We're tired of being kicked around. I mean, they perceived they were being kicked around. I don't think they were being. And I think they decided we're gonna fight fire with fire. We're going to, you know, do whatever it takes to enact our agenda, like you say, to overturn Roe versus Wade, which they did. But I also extend that to this Bible film and to the film I made called Split, which is, I think that Machiavellianism extends even to transhumanism in the sense that you have people like Peter Thiel, who's a Christian transhumanist, who's very integral part of the Trump administration right now, and who is basically J.D. Vance's mentor. And then you have Elon Musk, who's essentially a transhumanist, calls himself a cultural Christian. I think he's basically an atheist, but he's referred to himself as a cultural Christian. I think that idea of like, we're going to make enforce our vision of the world into the real world extends even to guys like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, who are trying to create immortality through scientific means. And it's almost like this idea of like, we haven't been able to, you know, that platonic ideal of Christianity that there's life after death. Well, maybe guys like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel have kind of doubts about that. So they're like, we're going to use science to force this into reality. We're going to make it so that we can resurrect people in virtual reality, or we can resurrect people using quantum archaeology. And so it's almost kind of the other side of the same coin. Like, Christianity does not seem to be true to these people, or to some of them. And, you know, maybe the turn the other cheek way of dealing with society doesn't seem to work. So they're like, we're just going to force our ideal into the real world. And I think that might be like what people like Peter Thiel are doing, is like, we're going to have an afterlife one way or the other. We're gonna make it happen.
And I don't think it's about actually caring if people believe, and I don't really think they themselves think it's about actually believing what they are preaching. It all comes down to power. You know, it's power and control and money, but a lot of it control.
Well, I think that's true with definitely certain quarters. I mean, look at Trump. Trump is completely driven by the most base instincts. Trump is driven by sex, money, power, just like a single cell organism. He's just driven by, basic impulses.
Yeah. Well, I will say this so people, if I wind up disappearing at one point, it's because I saw this show. So people know what to do if I don't turn up again at some point. Okay. But
you'll be detained by ICE, I think.
Oh God, that would. And there's Mr. Milligan. I gotta say, with all of his current political and stuff he's done and said, which is, I don't know what's going on with him, but I gotta say, I do like the movie Fat Man.
He's making another religious movie where he's gonna show the resurrection in like hell for some reason.
Oh my God. Well, Fat Man is fun, because he's Santa.
Yeah.
But
I like Getting the Gringo. That was the last good thing I saw from him.
Well, he was in a new one that's, I don't want to say it's a family film. It's kind of a PG-13. It's something about monsters. And it involves these kids in a town. I wish I could remember the title. He played this one cranky neighbor, and that helps the kids fight this monster or something. It was kind of entertaining, but I gotta say, I can't help but sit there and go, oh, it's him. It's like, honestly, for the longest time, I was led to believe that Gary Newman, famous for the song Here in My Car, Gary Newman. I was buying his records back in 1977, and I have every 12-inch single, every album, every CD single that he had done up until a couple of years ago. And I had been led to believe that he did the song for that Angel Studios QAnon Wet Dream Sound of Freedom. And because he was promoting it on his Facebook page, and I was like, oh no, what's this? Gary Newman. And people were saying, oh, he did the song for the end of the movie. He didn't, apparently. When I read what he was saying, I thought he was part of the film as well. But I was informed that he did not do the song for Sound of Freedom, but that he just supported the film. And I still, and some say separate the art from the artist. I'm sorry. It's kind of hard for me to listen to his music, which I used to play a lot, and not think about him being connected to this Caviezel weird QAnon stuff. And I don't know. It's like the whole thing. I'm not sure if it's a Fathom event, but some theaters are going to be showing on a couple nights this Kanye West documentary. From Kanye to Ye, in what something about in a name, and I'm like, oh my God, people are going to go see that. I mean, this guy said pro Hitler stuff, so it's kind of hard for me to sometimes separate the art from the artist. All I beg to the universe is, please, Kate Bush, don't ever say anything stupid. I adore Kate Bush. I don't ever do anything like that, Kate, please. I'm sure she won't.
I just lose a little respect, to be honest. It doesn't bother me at all if they're terrible people. I still like Woody Allen shit, and I have a Gigi Allen tattoo, so I don't really mind.
Well, Gigi Allen is he's different all his own.
He was openly a piece of shit. So.
Yeah, and you kind of wanted to hear what he had to say or perform, because he was different from all these others. It just, I'm not saying I was a Gigi Allen fan, but it did make me notice. So I kind of was like, well, what's this? I got to hear this.
Yeah.
But in general, I'm just really tired of, for instance, too, I had kind of an issue with, I did a series of videos, a 4-part song called Chris Pratt, Oliver Platt. And I'm very proud of them. You can find them on Vimeo. A friend of mine is hopefully going to separate them and put them on TikTok, because my he put my Fancy Crackers video on TikTok. We'll have to play that one later. Fancy Crackers in My Pants. That's the name of this. I think, Brock, I think you'd love it. But recently it was in an article. And again, this was from articles posted on Facebook. So you can't solely trust that. So you have to Google. But apparently Chris Pratt's wife is a cousin of RFK Jr. So
he's, well, because Chris Pratt's married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter.
Well, apparently what they said was his wife is a cousin of RFK Jr.
Well,
Which I'm like, really? I'm still trying to Google it. So right now what I'm saying is what they said on Facebook. Okay, don't take this for gold.
It's got to be
some
level. Arnold Schwarzenegger used to be married to Maria Shriver, who's in the Kennedy family.
There you go. So
there you go. Yeah.
What Chris Pratt said was about RFK Jr. was, I love him. And I'm thinking, Chris.
I'm sorry, I just saw the comment down there. That was awesome. I don't like Roman Polanski films, but he seems like a great guy.
I love the Tenant and the Fearless Vampire Killers. And he stars
Repulsion.
in both of those.
Yeah, I love Repulsion and fucking Rosemary's Baby.
And so it is hard sometimes, but when people are outwardly ridiculously hateful, you know, like the stuff Kanye was saying and everything, I just kind of go, oh, I just can't.
I stopped paying attention to that, but I did see something on Facebook that is like new albums called like Hail Hitler or something.
Oh,
it's like,
well, it won't be on my playlist. I'm sorry to say. I'll go back and listen to Dead Kennedys or something, and because they're at least more honest, not in a positive way. Not they're against bad stuff. So
that all comes from conspiracy theory culture. Like everyone's like shocked and saying, well, how can it be that so many young people are like appraising the World War II era and thinking that Hitler's the hero and Winston Churchill's the bad guy. And again, that comes from conspiracy theory culture, because if you think that scientists are lying to you, they're trying to kill you with vaccines, the history books about the vaccines, the history books are lying to you about start with the history books are lying to you about 9/11, they're lying to you about JFK's assassination, then you naturally keep following that thread and you'll think, okay, they're probably lying to me about the Holocaust too. So it's a natural extension of conspiracy theories. Of course it'll reach that level where people start thinking the Holocaust didn't happen and Hitler was a good guy.
And I'm still trying to convince people that ding dongs are a lot smaller than they used to be.
They are hosted too.
No, when I was a kid, and some say, well, because and I know I'm sort of getting humorous here, but we got to have some levity. When I was a kid, ding dongs were massive. And folks, I'm talking about Hostess ding dongs, not palaces. Palaces.
Ding dongs are huge.
Back in my day, cocks were way bigger.
Oh, they were. Although, I will say, when I was a kid, and they were wrapped in foil, they weren't in plastic. So, and some would say, well, you were little as a person, you were shorter and you were little, so things seem bigger. No, ding dongs were big. God, someone's gonna take that as a sound bite. And nowadays, here we go, folks. Here we go.
Fancy crackers in my pants, take a chance, watch me dance. Fancy crackers in my pants, they're delicious.
All right,
awesome.
a few things. Oh, thank you, Chris. A few things about that video. I like say Joe Badon or even some of your stuff. I like to put things in my videos that make you rewatch it to look around, because if you looked carefully, that was Gabori Sidib, from Precious, that was standing next to me. And if you looked on her head, I had this clip that was a mustache on top of her head. And that's a long story. And then also, if you look, my hat was Astral Plane Drifter, which is the movie that I have 2 parts in. That, which Brock, I hope you guys get to see one day. He's in. Mike is in New York this weekend at the Cannabis Culture Film Fest, and Astral Plane Drifter was a feature there this weekend. But so I was wearing the Astral Plane Drifter hat, and on my refrigerator there were magnets for my hippie dick shirt. Speaking of fallacies, that's another thing. Everybody go to TeePublic, TEE Public, look up Without Your Head or look up hippie dick 8-bit. It's me like in this kind of 8-bit image, but I'm naked holding a champagne bottle and glass next to a tree, and it says hippie dick. Hippie dick is based off of the countercultural porn magazine that my friend Gene Barnes did in the 90s. He was part of the Coquettes. Speaking of fallacies again. And so Neil Jones put me, hippie dick, on a t-shirt, and he did this. And so the magnet for hippie dick is on my fridge right next to a magnet of this. And also Domitiano's magnets for Bloody Sin and 6 songs were on the fridge, as well as just all kinds of weird things like Bigfoot. And one says, I miss prison sex. I was never in prison, but I thought the magnet was funny. So those are all those little things. Go back and rewatch it sometime. It's on. John Devlin put it on TikTok. So make it viral on TikTok. I hope to see people taking the audio and dancing with crackers to it. And and maybe the Chris Pratt ones will turn up on TikTok as well. So boy, did I veer away. We were talking about ding dongs. I will add too that I took a photo of a CD jewel case and put a current ding dong right on it. Ding dongs are like the third of a size of a CD now. They are just so tiny. You could one bite, they're gone. So that's my thing on ding dongs. Hey everybody, cheesecake, man, cheesecake. That's my other.
Oh yeah.
I got no opinion.
Anyway,
I haven't ate a ding dong since I was a child. So
no, they're not the same. They don't. I don't think they're. Honestly, I think they change things a little bit because I want to say they taste the same, but it's like I will argue that Fanta pineapple soda. There we go. Fuddy soft chocolate cake. Well, that is.
So it's chocolate. So I was thinking it was like the same as a Twinkie, but that looks like it's chocolate instead of.
It is chocolate. Although when I was a kid, they did make orange ding dongs.
Interesting.
Yeah, those were good. Now you can get orange Hostess cupcakes. Those are fine. But again, I love how it's like sweet cream filling and fudge it. I mean, obviously it's all artificial ingredients. I like when things says delicious chocolate flavor. Oh, well, that's a red flag right there. Flavor.
When it says no natural flavors.
They won't say. And also like Little Debbie's. I'm pretty sure Little Debbie's got smaller as well. Everything got smaller and the prices went up. Yogurt. Okay. I'm going way off tangent here, but you know, this is what I do. Yogurt. I remember when I was a kid, God, I sound like I used to walk uphill and 10 miles to school in the snow.
Without shoes.
Yogurt was 8 ounces. Okay. Especially I remember the Dannons, they had Dutch apple and my favorite was cherry and you stirred it from the bottom and all that. And then Yoplait came along and it was 6 ounces. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't know. I want my 8 ounces. You know, I want my 8 inches. So fallacies. But then you got this whole thing of what activity. And their deal was it's 4 ounces. 4 ounces of yogurt. Fuck that. I mean, I'll deal with 6, but I wanted 8 ounces. That's how it should have been. And you know, it's like, have you read the instructions for Activia? They want you to eat like 4 a day. When a packet of 4-pack of Activia is like what, $3-4 now, and you're supposed to eat 4 of those a day. No. Sorry, I was sitting like cheesecake. Oh, Brock, I don't know if you were on when I mentioned this, but that's bourbon, right? The bird. All that rustling you hear.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
our friend the bird. He is it a he or she?
She.
You know, she?
Just a second. I just have to walk to the library and plug my laptop in because it's just ready to die.
Oh, I hope they're not going to tell you to shush.
But go ahead, you guys continue.
Because you're in the library. But oh, there's the tail. There we go. There's the. So when you hear that rustling and knocking and stuff, that's the bird. Loves that camera. So, but I also wanted to mention, since we were all on the whole religious stuff and that, where did you do your other short films before you embarked on the John Calvin thing?
So I've been a part of the Bible project for I don't know, 2 years now, or a year? 2 years? Yeah. My co-host and of my podcast, QVC, edits all my stuff, and Christian's been working on the edit for the feature length situation for a while, and so I've just kind of been around since the beginning.
Okay, and White, because I watched all those shorts. You know, the Secret Perfume of Decay and Civilization Level, Quantum Suicide, all those. And I'm thinking those were things you did before you did this project as well.
No, those are Daniel stuff.
Oh, that's what I meant. Oh, he's still working on his thing. I thought he was already.
I'm in the library now.
Okay, but did you hear my question?
Yeah, you were. So maybe just repeat the very first part of it.
Okay, your short films that I just watched this weekend, the ones like Secret Perfume of Decay and the other ones, those were early projects. How to Raise Women from the Dead. I've got to see that one. That one I didn't see, but those were all projects you did that were before this current Calvin one.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, those are all about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe.
Oh, okay.
And those are more like just self-mutilation type clips.
Yeah, I gotta say you had me there, because when I first watched that and the stabbing on the hand, I was like, wow, that's so realistic. Now, how did he do that? And then I kind of realized by the time I got to your other shorts, oh my God, that was for real.
Yeah, there's some real self-mutilation, and but in that one Secret Perfume Decay, that is kind of intermingled with some kind of a narrative, at least a sense of narrative, and there's effects. Allison's in that one, and she's killed.
Fearless.
But that, of course, is effects driven. That
disemboweled.
Yeah, she's just.
Well, yeah, that part I was kind of like, okay, that was not really happening. But
that
when
was
I saw
some animal guts that she found on the road.
Oh my God! Wow.
She does that all the time. I was just the other day. She was picking up animal parts. She does every time she drives past a dead animal. She has to pick it up.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying she's fearless.
Yeah.
As you are. You guys do a lot for your art, and watching them, I was not thinking, oh, they're just doing this to shock people. There's something to say about everything being done.
And that one kind of connects with the Bible one, because it is How to Raise Women from the Dead. That Secret Perfume of Decay is like dealing with potential, scientifically, valid scientific theories about how you could potentially raise someone from the dead. And so that does cross over into the Bible film. And so I think that is definitely a thread running through everything, but that's always a part of art. It's been part of goth culture, is this idea of either in goth culture, you're probably either afraid of death or you kind of glamorize death. And, those two things, those are interconnected though, because the reason you glamorize death is to try to like deal with the concept. And that's a lot of what horror films are, is like kind of glamorizing death.
Although
different
I will say though that I don't think the Terrifier films are good at glamorizing. I think they're just like, the kids love to watch it, then let's work on a story to thread through them. And I'm sorry for the Terrifier fans, but I am not. I'm very much a fan of the gore and all that kind of stuff, but I kind of want some context a bit. And what you've done, from what I see, is not just showcase it to have people's jaw drop. I see that you're saying something. So that's, for me,
yeah, I think that there's like feels like there's ideas I like want to convey, and that horror is the best way to convey it, because I mean, to me it feels like the world, we live in a horror movie, like this universe is a horror movie, and the only question is whether it's going to have a happy ending or not so happy ending. And so that's to me the only medium I can work in. Even if I wanted to, I can't think of any other films I could make, because that's the honest reflection of the real world, is horror films.
Oh yeah, no, I kind of, I've been, I mean, I love silly horror movies and stuff, but I still want some kind of story or context or subtext to it.
And yeah, silly horror movies are good too, because like I say, I think that's part of that kind of trying to deal, sublimate different ideas and trying to like film a funny film, a comedy film about death is important too, because these things are to activate people to the bad things about reality, and you can make death seem funny, or you can make death seem glamorous. These are ways to acclimate yourself to that idea.
Well, that's why I loved.
It's just a survival mechanism for the human race.
I don't know if you guys had ever seen it, but one of my favorites is Ed and His Dead Mother.
I love that movie.
Steve Buscemi, Ned Beatty, Mary Amargo's. From seeing her on the Graham Norton show, and that, I would love to have lunch with that lady. She is brilliant. But Ed and His Dead Mother, which, by the way, has a song by They Might Be Giants, the Happy People song. Happy People did it. That movie is just, I can rewatch that. I never get tired of it. And I can't believe it has not been restored for Blu-ray or 4K. It was just put out on a DVD. Before that, I had the VHS.
I have it on Laserdisc, and that's all I have on.
Hey, speaking of Laserdiscs, folks, again, this is really fun. I love to segue. This is honestly, I'm like a kid at Christmas. Having you guys on and doing this is so much fun. Now, while this movie was a bit more, I don't want to say commercial, but popular. So I want to angle it. There you go. This is the director's cut.
Oh, nice.
Of Scream. People don't realize there was a director's cut. It was only available on Laserdisc. I don't have a Laserdisc player. Two friends of mine do, so they transferred it to a file for me so I could watch it. It is only about 10 to 20 seconds longer, but all the death scenes are more graphic.
Hell yeah.
And the commentary that you hear on the DVDs and the Blu-rays is the commentary lifted directly off of the Laserdisc. So when they're talking about the gore and stuff, what they're talking about is not actually happening on the DVD version you see, and people don't understand that. It's confusing. So I don't know who's behind us. Miramax is back. Somebody put this out. I mean, if they put this out on 4K, it would probably be a gazillion seller. So I don't know why they
People
haven't
love
yet.
Train.
So come on, guys. I mean, I'm not a fan of the sequels. Fuck the sequels. I think they're redundant. I figured out the killers right away. I'm tired of sequels. I don't do most sequels. Like the current Conjuring, I'm not interested. But, and this is fallacies related. Now this is a second copy that I got with a $3.99 sticker on it, so ignore that. But one of my favorite EPs from the 80s is Balls Up from Wet Picnic. Now there's a band title that I love, Wet Picnic. The video for Cocktailed Sky is on YouTube. Look that up, folks. Cocktailed Sky by Wet Picnic. I love that image. It's so odd, but the name of the EP, it's like a 5-track EP. Yeah, called Balls Up.
Well, what kind of music is that, Todd?
I'm sorry, what? Oh, new wave, but almost in a way art house new wave. Sort of like at the beginning of the show, we had that Crispin Glover clip. And I have that album, Crispin Hellion Glover. It's a great album. He does a cover of These Boots Are Made for Walking on it. And it's very much performance art, almost Laurie Anderson-esque in a way. But this music, there's some catchy tunes. It's strange. It's very new wave. This is from 1982 on Unicorn Records. Go on Discogs or eBay. Balls Up from Wet Picnic. I highly recommend it. Cocktailed Sky is a classic. I used to play it on my radio shows. And then I got a couple more here for people, just for fun. Let's remember Dave Letterman used to do Dave's record collection. So this was a Saturday morning TV show, The Kids from Caper.
Wow, never heard of it.
Yeah. Look it up if you can. I don't know. There might be episodes or clips on YouTube. This show was very meta. It was very weird. My favorite episode is Post Monster General. And of course, like Scooby-Doo and Josie and the Pussycats and all that, these guys would have their musical numbers in the show. So the Kids from Caper. I forget what Caper stands for. Oh, here it is. Civilian Authority for the Protection of Everybody Regardless.
Really?
Yeah. So for a Saturday morning kid show, this was, I mean, I got it. I love the show because in a way, I was a fan of Monty Python when I was like 6 years old. So when this show came on, I was like, this is so cerebral and heady and weird for a Saturday morning show. It was way ahead of this time. So the kids from
TV.
I'm sorry, what?
What year was that on?
Well, this says 1976.
Okay.
Record.
Got it.
And this is a radio station copy.
Right.
But I don't know if any radio stations actually ever played them. I sure did on my show. I would play stuff like this, the Banana Splits, Animaniacs. I used to play those on my show. And one more. This one is a gem. And there's one more soundtrack I need to get. Well, Bill messaged me, guys. Let's see here. Bill Weeden. I don't have, it's funny. I can't. Oh, I will be on later. Busy now. So if our show runs longer today, if Chris and you guys don't mind, Bill will pop in, the famous Bill Weeden. So here we go. Turned On. This is a porno from, I forget, probably, if not the late 70s, early 80s. It's Al Parker. He was a big star, and his actual name was Drew. It's weird. This is so weird. A friend of mine that just recently left Florida, good for you. He was good friends with Al Parker. And he said, I wish I would have known you when I was friends with Al, because Al Parker passed away. Because he said Al would have loved you. I would have been cool to meet Al Parker, but I do have home video of my friend with Al Parker taking him around his home and them riding in Al's Jeep up to the cabin in the mountains. So I do have home video of Al Parker, and the music, of course, from these types of porno films were amazing.
Yeah.
This type of music, not your typical chicka chihuahua stuff. This was very almost, deep, darker Giorgio Moroder, Patrick Cowley, stuff like that. So Turned On, there's the back cover. And this was when porno was masculine.
What year was that one? What year did that?
Well, it's funny. This record company, Dark Entries, released this in 2022.
Okay.
But the movie itself, well, here. I'm going to do a quick thing here. I'm going to quickly bring up a separate screen. I feel so tech whiz here. Year of release, porn film Turned On Al Parker. And it says 1982. And
Okay.
Al Parker, and I think the other guy is Sky Dawson. But his real name was Andrew Robert Oken, and people called him Drew. But Al Parker, he's an icon. And I say, you don't have to be gay, you don't have to be anything. Get that record Turned On. The music is wow. And there's another one, I can't remember the title. Kids from Caper. It's a bit soft.
Come on. Yeah, I probably would end up watching it.
Yeah, I'll actually watch this. Yeah.
The candy machine, so random. Alan Lansberg, oh my God, I know that name. Oh, the hair, the collars. Now, what was he? The last guy? He looked so much like the guy that used to be on that. Well, I didn't like the series Soap with the ventriloquist dummy. That's who he looks like. But I mean, that was too when TV show themes ran a minute and a half for the openings. But that won't tell you really how weird the show is. But my favorite bit every time I watch that opening segment is when the guy goes, come on.
Come on. Stop complimenting me.
You know what? I hope that by doing stuff like this, because in the future, folks, you're going to see a lot of stuff, me holding up in front of the camera. Like my friend Big Jim. Or even Midge. Yes.
I was going to ask you, so you have a connection to like 70s porno industry. Is that correct? Is that assumption correct?
Well, I did know some people. I was friends with, you're going to love the name. He went by two names. He went by Ed Wiley, and he also went by Miles, Myles, Long, Longue. And the second name was quite physically fitting for him. But What this needs a short. Where are they now? Okay. Thank you, Chillers. Yeah. What did you have a question about that, or Chris, or
did you actually star in films from that era, or oh no, you're asking Chris. I'm sorry about that.
No. This is Daniel. Okay, I thought that was Chris speaking. I'm sorry.
Did you appear in films in those days, or were you just kind of...
No, I was way too young. That would have been wrong. I got to know these people kind of around when I was in college, in the early 80s and on. That's John Holmes. I did not know him. And that, yeah. No, but he did look better with facial hair, I will say. No, it was later, and I was friends with, like I said, Ed Wiley or Miles Long. Friends with, few others, and some of the people. I'm good friends with, well, I don't want to say we hang out all the time, but I've been to his house. I know him. Tom DeSimone used to direct gay porn in the 70s. You may know Tom DeSimone's name from Reform School Girls, Hell Night with Linda Blair. What was the Linda Blair prison one? Any other things? Tom is a cool guy. And so, yeah, I know people. And as far as appearing, yes, I was in one. Well, I've done stuff. Let's just say, if you want, I hate the word modeling. It's like, that word is so, I don't know. But yeah, you could say I was in some magazines, and well, Hippie Dick, I'm proud of. I was on the cover of the very last issue of Hippie Dick. And by the way, in 2019, the Tom of Finland Foundation in Los Angeles, I know Brock and you guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about. They had an event honoring Gene Barnes, who passed away in the 90s, late 90s. And it was all about Gene Barnes and Hippie Dick. And the first 100 attendees got a reprint of the very first issue. There were 6, and I was in number 4 and on the cover of number 6. So yeah, good luck finding those folks. But magazines like Drummer, Bear, Inches, and you fallacies again. And you have to qualify to be in a magazine like Inches. I'm just saying. And Drummer. So that tells you something about me. But yeah, I was in one back in, well, it was shot in 2000. And I'm sure by now everyone knows there's Hippie Dick. That is me. Because of the deep colors, it's a little, blended there. But yeah, that's me on the cover of Hippie Dick number 6, which is all of them are collector's items, but that one's the rarest because Gene died shortly before it got out. A friend of his released it to people that were subscribed to it or knew Gene, and people like me who were involved. I was going to continue making the magazine with Gene, but yes, he passed away. Gene used to also produce videos for Brush Creek Media, which was Bear Magazine. And, but yeah, as far as what I was involved in, I've said the title on Neil's show. I've said it here, so I'm not, shy about it. But it was called. It's hard to wrap your tongue around. I want to say pun intended, but it was called Rural Erections. It's like the rural juror from 30 Rock. But hey, here's the thing about that. Yeah, I'm proud of it because a reviewer. And the review appeared on TLA Video when they used to stream it. I don't think they do now. But he gave it 4 stars and said it was hardcore hee-haw meets Pink Flamingos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, it was a farmyard setting.
Well, it was basically, in a way, the I don't want to say the central character, because he was sort of the central character up to a certain point, but he went on a road trip, and had little adventures. And this is basically men who were all over 45, 50. So it's a more mature aged cast. And once he stops by Thor's Roadside Truckers Retreat or something, which was Thor's backyard. So, and then all kinds of different things going on, and it keeps moving around. A few people, two people complained, we don't get just one scene that it ends and it moves on to another. I like my porns that way. Well, sorry, this one moved around and then kind of came back around to the finishes. But yeah, I was, in that. I was asked to be in it because I knew, speaking of stars, one of the stars, Buddy Masters, lived because where I'm living for the past 30 years, he and his partner lived about 4 or 5 miles up the road from me. So once I connected with Buddy, and that Thor was like, hey, I don't see enough guys with long hair and beards. How would you like to? And I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. So it's like, hey, folks, if you're worried about things, yeah, it's easy top. I also used to get Jethro Tull, but in the 80s, I looked more like Kenny Loggins. I think at some point, Chris, you have an old photo of me with my Kenny Loggins shirt. But I looked like Kenny Loggins in the 80s. But other than that, yeah, I just figured, life is short. I'm not going to be president. Not right now. Being president is not exactly, I would say, something to aspire to. But I just thought, that's 1994, by the way. So, yeah, couldn't get a date to save my life though. Used to have a lot of women hit on me because they loved the long hair, but guys didn't like long hair back then, and I was sort of on my own. But I figured life is short. I'm not planning on being any kind of big deal public figure and all that, and just have fun, and it not harming anybody, just having fun. And apparently, Rural is considered a cult classic. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's and no matter what your persuasion, I people just said it was so different, it was unusual, it was the cast involved. You don't see movies with a cast of that age because actually I didn't ever give you guys one of the photos. One day, Chris and Jack, I'll send you one. There's a still where the one guy on my left looks like the old author, Walt Whitman. He went by Robert Whitman. And the other guy in the photo everyone says was Willie Nelson. And no, it wasn't Willie Nelson. And he had a long beard. But yeah, it's just, I like to just enjoy, have fun, do things different. And so I'm proud of that. And hey,
was there a burgeoning hippie homosexual scene?
Yeah, actually in the early 70s, one of DeSimone's early films was Duffy's Tavern, and he did one. What's the title? It's over there, but yeah, you used to see long men with beards, and Duffy's Tavern there was hippies in it, and there was a hippie. The early 70s were more fun. People were more natural, and but then of course it all turned to this Ken doll thing, and everybody's manscaping and shaving everything, and I'm just like,
when did that happen? Was that when the late 80s?
That was the 80s. Okay,
right.
Here's another fun thing. Wow, we're really getting to some interesting topics here, from everything from God to phalluses to ding dongs. And but what happened was, now some of the magazines that were prevalent in the 70s, like Drummer, which was a leather S&M magazine, and I appeared well, not in features, but I was in Drummer twice. But Drummer, Mandate, Honcho, Blue Boy. There was a magazine called In Touch. So not the current In Touch like People magazine, but In Touch. And there were others. Mostly movie ones like Honcho. So I wish I had some issues handy to show you, but Honcho and them and Drummer, the men were more masculine with beards, even long hair, whatever. And then what I had read in an article was that in the 80s, because it was business, some magazines, the ownership or the editorial women were on the staff. And even like maybe owned the publication or something. So back then, like remember in the 70s, Playgirl, mostly guys with mustaches.
Right.
And natural, no manscaping. You'd get your occasional pretty guys. But the very first, Village People, here you go, like Glenn Hughes, the leather guy, and even Randy. Yeah, you saw more guys like Glenn Hughes and stuff like Drummer and Honcho. But you would have basically the first bearded Playgirl centerfold in 1978 was Brian Dawson. He was Mr. International Leather later on. I got to meet Brian like 4 or 5 times over the years, first back in '89. And then he was at a kink display at the Desert Center for Sexuality Awareness. And so I got to see him and he remembered me from, we're talking 2015. He remembered me from 1989. So that was impressive. And then a friend of mine has these leather get-togethers during Pride Weekend here in Palm Springs. Pride Weekend is in the first weekend of November. And so Brian would turn up to those and I'd get updated photos with him. But what happened was Playgirl eventually got more guys with shorter hair, clean shaven, manscaped, and it was kind of So any women who were involved in the male publications kind of, I guess, put their influence in, and you started seeing more and more of that type. So the more masculine type kind of was relegated to things like Drummer and others. So it got to this Tyndall thing. And if you look at a lot of porn, whether it's straight or anything, a lot of the guys just, they look interchangeable. They're all...
Question, Todd. I had a question. What was the significance of mustaches in gay culture in the 1970s? Why was that? What was it? It seemed like it was really significant. Like even people like Rob Hudson grew a mustache, and was it kind of a signal of being homosexual?
Well, facial hair started coming in, I would say, especially in some of even a lot of the straight adult films that were more, 42nd Street, shorter films, or Times Square is what I'm saying. The mustaches and, the beatnik scene and stuff, you would have mustaches, goatees, beards. It was just seen as more masculine. Because for me, I think if you're a guy, I'm not saying you have to, but I think if you're a guy, grow some facial hair. You can, so why not? I see Brock, you got stuff going on there. That's good.
Partial laziness.
Yeah, and we got Jack with his. But it's just, it was masculine. And in the culture in the 70s, especially when you had New York and San Francisco, you had what they called the Castro clones and stuff. Some guy had beards, but many of them had just the mustaches. It was just more of a masculine look. Because guys that are clean shaven either just look plain or pretty. And nothing against guys who are pretty or even effeminate or whatever, but it was nothing to me. It was nothing special, but the mustaches, the beards, that was more masculine. And that's what I always thought was cool. And nowadays, I see a lot of younger guys nowadays with mustaches. To see where I work, I see guys coming in with mustaches, and I'm like, yay, rock the stash, man. I prefer beards, but I let people know, especially younger guys. We're talking guys that are in their 20s and up to 30 who are now sporting mustaches. I give them some positivity and support them on that, because people used to make fun of them. Oh, you look like a 70s porn star. What's so bad about that? Unless you're wearing polyester and the huge collars and, and the Brady perm, which, by the way, Chris, I found the photo. I will send it to you sometime, but that photo from 1981 where I got the perm.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, shit. Was that the worst mistake of my life? Aside from...
Is that Robert Reed?
Yeah, that's Robert Reed.
Yeah.
My hair was not as big as that, but see, I saw a cousin of mine that I hadn't seen in years at a funeral for one of my aunts or grandmothers or something, and he looked like me, a little older, and he had this nice little perm. If you want to put nice and perm in the same, you know, it's an oxymoron, right? But I thought, wow, if that's what I could look like, you know, because I thought, oh, this sounds weird when I say I thought he looked handsome. Even I thought that could be how I would look. I gave it a try, and oh, fuck. I couldn't wait for that thing to grow back out. It was the biggest mistake of my life. So I'll always regret that. But otherwise, no. Just the guys with the beards and mustaches. To me, you know, I always thought, oh Jesus, yeah, that's Phil Spector, right?
The Wall of Sound.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, and that was not Photoshopped. That was how he really appeared.
When he murdered that woman in the basement of his house.
Right. That's how he appeared in court right there. So, and I'm sorry, I don't want to judge people on how they look. You know, who am I to say what people want to look like? But it is, you look at that and it is kind of hard to, I mean, like all these women that are doing the 80 for Brady wind tunnel plastic surgery. I'm sorry, but men or women, don't do that. Age gracefully. I was, for instance, the movie that we're going to talk about a little later, Woods Witch. Sally Kirkland is in that, and she's having a blast, cursing up a storm and being, you know, she's great. But you can see that Sally Kirkland, she's a big deal. You know, back when she in a lot of important movies, but her, like actresses like Kelly McGillis, let themselves age gracefully and naturally is what I mean. They didn't go for all that tightening up.
Yeah, shove plastic in their face.
Like Kenny Rogers, like when Kenny Rogers did it. Kenny Rogers, you know, you thought, oh, the gambler and the beard and everything, and then he did that, and it was just frightening. And who was it?
Changed about plastic surgery in the 80s. Like it seems like in the early 80s, people had plastic surgery. It was, you could get away with it, and it seemed a lot of times it was an improvement. But
now it's more severe. It's like I said, it was like, look what happened to Joan Van Ark and Joan Rivers.
Yeah, Joan Rivers.
And accused. Well, didn't Rose McGowan even go that route?
Really?
And yeah, I thought Rose McGowan got herself some. Oh my God, Kenny. I mean, and that doesn't look too bad, but it's. I don't know if he had more done after that, but oh my God. And it's like you said, everyone looks like they're in a wind tunnel, and they're also, they look like an alien race. You know, they all have the same, the cheek cut, you know, those carved cheeks, and the expressions, you notice it's harder for them to make expressions, facial expressions. Here I am judging, but it's like, to me, it doesn't make them look younger if that's the case. They want or looking. Oh, there. And yes, of course, he got a lot older.
Yeah.
There's
Sometimes I wonder if some of these people would be even more startled by how they look if they hadn't had plastic surgery.
Yeah, I can see that. And that's true.
Rogers would look really crazy.
Because I've seen some actors, male and female, that have really, and plus we keep forgetting how old some of these actors are, because I remember them from the 60s and 70s, and you always think of them as that. And then when you see them now, you're kind of like, oh my God, what happened? Oh, that's right, they're 90.
Right.
It's hard for me, like myself, in the manner that I tell younger people, even when you get to be my age, I'm 62 now. You still feel the same inside. You're a little smarter, maybe, but you still feel the same. And on the inside, outside, your body starts to rebel and do things. But, for me, I look in the mirror and I go, oh my God, yeah, I forgot. I'm so old. So, but I would never, even if I had the money, and if I had the money, I would buy more Blu-rays or something. I wouldn't, or I'd take a trip. I wouldn't, no. I'm speechless. So,
you don't want to look like Mickey Rourke? All fuckered up.
Could you imagine him with that in, was it 9.5 weeks?
I think so. Yeah,
That would be
I was just watching Barfly, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot he looked normal. Like,
well, now here's a guy who kind of made it a comeback, and he's looking a bit, I don't want to say worse for the wear, but Nick Nolte.
Oh yeah,
yeah, but and his voice too. He's really having, with the voice has really changed. But he's kind of made a comeback. He did that movie. I think when he did that movie with Robert Redford, where they're in the woods camping, that was kind of his comeback. And he's been doing other things lately, and good for him. But he's Nick Nolte, so no matter how he looks, you don't care. It's Nick Nolte. But
True.
Some actors do kind of make you do a what? And again, trying not to judge, but I can't help it. It just. All right, so I'm going to judge a little bit. Oh well, don't hate me, people. But and then again, you got actresses like Kelly LeBrock, Weird Science, Woman in Red. I remember she said that she was forced to starve in order to be that thin, and for those movies. And then after all that, she was like, you know what? Fuck it, I don't care. I'm comfortable in my own skin. And you could see that she let herself gain some weight and just feel where she was comfortable, or how her body. Well, that's not the current Nick Nolte. That almost looks AI, doesn't it?
yeah, that seems like a decade ago, maybe.
Yeah, but now, honestly, I prefer how he looks now over that photo. But, and again, what I'm saying, folks, is do what you want to do, but, make sure you're doing it for yourself rather than to appeal to everyone else, or think that will get you that either laid or movie roles. I don't know. But just feel comfortable in your own skin, do what you want to do. But I myself am letting myself go. And as far as with the beard, I've always been what you call a paganophile. I love beards. And I always, as a kid, thought, God, I would love to have, good ZZ Top. Yeah. And all that. I thought, God, I'd love to have a beard like that. And
where's the beards? What is the significance? We were talking about mustaches, the significance of mustaches. What
a beard, just because, for one thing, because I can. And I just like beards. I just think you're...
in the broader gay culture, what is the significance of beard?
Oh, well, you know, that was the thing. If you had a beard, it would be groomed. It would be short. I remember back. Bigger beards were for the bikers and, you know, the serious bikers, cigar culture. You know, if you've seen those guys with those cigars that are like that big around, fallacies.
Right.
I'm going to keep doing that because Brock's on the show. I love fallacies. What can I say? So, but yeah, that was the more rougher culture, was the guys with the big beards, motorcycle guys and stuff, you know. And I'm like, right now, trying to fuss with my cord. I mean, I wish my beard were thicker, but I'm grateful for what I got. It's blowing because I have a fan on here that's kind of doing this. But no, it's just, again, some guys think it's masculine. And I know some people would say, well, I don't mind a beard, but not like that. For me, I remember when I was working at a job back in 2011, I got this new job because I used to work at Borders, the bookstore, and they were closing. So I jumped over to another job, and I kept my beard short because I figured that's what I had to do. And they asked me to, if I wanted to, let your beard grow out. Of course, in like 2 months, my beard wasn't going to get that big, but they asked me to dress up as Santa for the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
So I did that. And after my beard was grown out a little bit, I was going to cut it short. And I said, oh, I guess I got to cut my beard again. And they said, no, as long as you keep it decent looking, you know, not like crazy, you can keep that and let it grow. So I did. And I noticed other managers and stuff starting to grow their beards out. But then I just thought, well, I like this. I'm going to keep it going. Always check for split ends. That's important. But then after I turned up in the movie Toilet Zombie, well, Rural Erections, I had a shorter beard. I had super long hair. I'm older now, so yeah, you know. But after I did the movie Toilet Zombie Baby Strikes Back, there's a, yeah, see, I knew I'd get a laugh out of Brock on that one. It's a fun little movie. I show my ass in that one, everybody, if you want to see my ass. But people were like, oh, we like that look. Would you be in my movie? Would you be in my movie? So I was like, all right. And I mean, I would have grown this anyway. But now it's a draw. People like it. It's what attracts some people to me. I like myself like this. And now for Domitiano and for John Devlin and for Slade Wilson, all they had was my voice. But I have turned up in, like, I'm in the behind the scenes of Fallacies, doing my laugh for Domitiano on video, and I'm doing my laugh. So you see it, but no, that's what I like first and foremost. And then others I get customers at work. At least 3 or 4 times every time I work, I get, oh, I love your beard. Especially they like the glasses, but, and it's not to seek approval. It's just that I like this. This is me. And this is what people want me to be a part of their stuff for. So, although for the movie Rural, it was my long hair in particular, the beard, and of course, another asset. Wink. But no, it's just, wow, how did this all go from God to this? But no, so that's the other thing. Should I call you Daniel or White?
Daniel's great.
Okay.
Actually, it's one interesting thing. When I was making the Bible film, one of the things I really loved about it, the full-length version, is that every character, it looked exactly the same with big, long, white beards, starting with Abraham and Moses.
That would be my heaven.
Well, yeah. That's why you'll love this film.
If I die, beard heaven.
I love the fact that every character looked exactly the same, and so when I was like, if there was certain sequences that needed to be filmed, or I was trying to get actors for, you know, it was all exactly the same, and there was no, you know, there was it was kind of interesting because I never really thought of that reading the Bible. But you know, when you what tradition tells us at least is that Moses looks the same as Abraham, looks the same as Isaiah, looks the same as.
Wasn't there a rule that it was like really a sin or something to get rid of your beard?
Maybe.
I think there was something that about showing your bare face that was like indecent.
Now, here's the other thing too, and I was asking you whether I should call you Daniel or White, because I loved how you were questioning me about all of the stuff I've done. I felt like, wow, now I'm being interviewed. I thought this is so cool. But I've had people say to me, oh, well, everybody's doing it, so why should I? Meaning beards or mustaches. And I'm like, well, usually those are people who can't really grow facial hair well that say that. And secondly, they're just either jealous. But otherwise, too, I said, okay. And oh, it's a beard, it's a trend, it's a fad, it'll go away. I'm like, okay. So if everybody shaves, then wouldn't being clean shaven be a trend and a fad?
Yeah, it's a good question. I remember I was going through a pretty hard time once a few years ago, economically. And I used to put on this fake beard and go out at night, real late at night in Montana, and just beg for money. But the fake beard, and I'd wear fatigues like camouflage. And it was effective. And it, you know, people gave me a lot of money. But then every now and then you'd have some people would challenge, like they would see through the beard and see it didn't quite look.
And because people, if people don't know me and they see me out in public, because I wear oversized Guayabera shirts. I love those shirts, you know, what they call the Mexican wedding shirts. I love those. I wear my socks and sandals, shorts year round. Sometimes I wear my salwar from India, those outfits, or from Egypt. I'll wear those. And so people think that I'm some kind of Muslim or in their eyes, Muslim / bum, whatever, and not to equate that, but it was always a negative view from them. And these are people that they just don't, you know, I guess they secretly want to be a part of that community. Because I went to my high school reunion, I remember back in 2001, and I had a few classmates that used to, you know, of course, give me trouble in high school. And they came up to me and they're like, oh my God, I work in an office. I look like this. And look at you, you're a wild man. Oh man. You could tell they were like, and at least they were like, wow. And other people want to be judgy and mean about it. And that's because I think secretly some of these people wish that they could just let loose a little bit. And you're feeling. And speaking of the fake beards, now I was never a huge thing about drag queens. You know, I've friends who do it. I've seen shows, and I used to be a DJ at a cabaret for a drag show in a lesbian bar of all things. Yeah. But the funny thing is, it was all men doing drag, except for one gal who just dressed up like Janis Joplin and lip synced to her songs, and people loved it. But what I really am impressed by are the drag kings.
Yeah. Because
they really, like, there's a drag king group out of San Diego, and they sometimes come up for Palm Springs Pride. And I'm so impressed by the care and the work that they put into, especially, you know, in movies. I'm sorry. I see fake beards and fake mustaches a mile away. I had a lot to say about Logan, you know, the Wolverine movie. His fake facial hair through that movie just pissed me off. But but for the drag kings, man, they love what they're doing. They put care into it. It's just wonderful, and it's great to watch them perform.
I saw a drag queen women performing as the Oak Ridge Boys, doing the song Elvira.
You mean drag kings?
Yeah, drag kings. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And they were.
Oh, that's great. No, that's great. I love drag kings. I think they're so cool. And here's the other fun fact. a lot of people don't know this because a friend of mine won 2 beard competitions. There is a women's category in beard competitions.
Yeah.
And those are amazing. I mean, there are some cultures where I remember seeing a video program about a woman in some foreign country. I don't know if it was Middle East or what, but she always felt ostracized. And so she just couldn't stand having to shave or whatever she had to do. So she let her beard grow, and she's like beloved,
Yeah.
in the community. And so now having women's competition in the beard competitions I think is just the greatest thing. And it's just reinforcing and affirming that, we all don't have to do a certain thing. Like people that are upset about the trans community, well, they shouldn't be doing this is what God wants, or even if they don't believe in God, still let people feel comfortable in their own skin.
I think more women could grow beards than we realize. I think
back in the 70s, especially Europe, the underarm hair was no big deal.
Oh yeah.
And I've even seen Georgina Spelvin. Yes, I watch heterosexual porn. Georgina Spelvin, I've seen her in a couple flicks that she had underarm hair. And of course, back in the 70s, a bush was no problem. Even if they kept one. And like the old Playboy centerfolds, they weren't really that graphic because you saw hair. There's one right there. And in the top corner, am I pointing correctly?
Other side for me. But...
Okay, that way. Is it now? Am I pointing to it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's funny. I see. Like, am I pointing to Jack now though, or is he Jack that way?
Jack
way.
the other way. Yeah.
See, like even my shirt is backwards to me, but I know you guys are seeing a flip, so I know it's all flipped. So I just got to get it right. I don't know, but no, I really admire people. When I was younger, of course, yes, I had judgmental thoughts in my head. I grew up in St. Louis, back when everybody's toilet tank had had National Geographic, Reader's Digest, a Daily Affirmation, and Billy Graham's Decision Monthly on their toilet tank as reading material. I'm sure some of you out there can relate to what I'm saying. And it was very white where I grew up, very Republican, very mixture, Lutheran, Catholic, whatever. But it was always just this pigeonholed thing. And so when I was a kid, I was not judgy about gay people at all. But of course, the only information you were given was sinful, something wrong mentally, that kind of stuff. And that's all you were given as info. I broke away from all that. I started figuring things out at an early age. I love that bird. Look at you. And, but it was things like trans and even drag that I just wasn't getting completely, not like hating it, but not understanding it until when I was much into college and later, that I started going, oh, what's the big deal? I was shaking off those growing up in St. Louis at the time. Thanks. More deep thoughts. Yes. So it's sad now that I hope I live to be Bill Weeden's age and past. Now that I've, wisened up and everything, I'm like, geez, I wish I would have been able to understand and know this stuff all those years ago. Because, life is short in general, but now that I'm way up there, it's like, damn, I wish I could celebrate it more. So
when did you grow your beard? What age were you?
Oh, okay. That's a fun thing. Thank you for asking. Now I started working at 15. You're supposed to wait until you're 16, but my stepfather said, "No, just tell him you're 16." Then I thought, yeah, but when taxes happen, isn't the government going to know? but nothing ever happened. Nobody said anything, not even the government. So, but basically, you know, then facial hair was kind of coming in. You had to shave a few times to get it to come in better. But back in the Midwest in St. Louis, especially if you worked in fast food, you could not have a beard. You could not have a mustache going down the side. You could have a basic mustache. So I let the mustache happen. Okay. When I went to college, I was still working for Burger King at first. God, when I think back on that. But yeah, I wanted to grow a beard, but I couldn't, and I needed the money. So when I quit working fast food for a while and worked on campus in college, I let a beard grow. And of course, it was a short beard. Then when I went back to work for fast food to get more money, the beard was gone again. But once I graduated and I got a job at a hotel in St. Louis, I had the beard back, and I wanted to let it grow out, but afraid of what the workplace would say. And then I got a job at a bar, at a nightclub. And people out there, anyone in St. Louis, it was Magnolia's. And I just started letting my beard grow. And I did look like a redneck trucker or something. I didn't care. I just was so happy. And then, of course, after that, and I left to come to California. Trying to get work in California at first was not easy. I lived in a back then really horrible area that was then horrible, Lake Elsinore. I don't know how it is now. And I couldn't get a job in that town. It was really hard. So after all that, came to the Palm Springs area, and I wanted to go back to work, got a job at Borders. They were totally cool with whatever you look like. Let things grow. To this day. You know, this probably would have been longer. Now, Jason Momoa, yeah. His hair is kind of like what mine looked like 12 years ago. Mine was a little longer. I don't have that physique, of course, not that I would want to. But yeah, it's just this. I feel comfortable in it like this. This is just, yeah. I look in the mirror and I go, God, that's so cool. Yeah. So it makes me happy, and that's all that matters. If people don't want to fuck me because I look like this, I don't care. I don't want you anyway.
Well, I think you're right when you say there's a resurgence. The beards are coming back.
Oh, they are. Look at the TV commercials. Yeah. Look at roles in TV shows. Yeah. Beards, man. Beards. And again, yeah, I'm happy for that.
You disagree with it politically, but it's part of MAGA. It's a huge part of MAGA.
Oh, beard?
Long beard, yeah.
I guess because of Vance, maybe? I don't know. But you know what? People who've already been doing the beard thing who are not MAGA, we know better. Keep the beards. Don't get rid of them just because you don't want to be considered MAGA. Right. No. Fight back with your beard. Put down the razor. Stop the madness is what I used to hear. And guys, if you want a good beard, you know what? Up until about maybe 10 years ago, I used to shave the neck and never understood why my beard didn't look fuller. So, you know, let it grow. Even if it's itchy at first. That's what another thing I hate, guys. Don't give me the excuse. Well, I shave it during the summer so I can be cooler. That's a myth. Beards do not make you hotter in the summer. They make you look hotter, but they do not make you feel hotter temperature-wise. They actually help protect your face. Yeah, and so don't do this. Well, I do. Was it Beard November? Just grow your beard anytime. Don't give me that shit about, well, it feels so hot in the summer, or guys with their hair. I cut my hair in the summer. Pull it back in a goddamn ponytail. Okay. You know, they don't, when people say to me, aren't you? Because look, it's like, it's 100 and I don't know, is it 104 today or something? And, you know, I try not to go out much, but when I'm out, I usually have my hair pulled back, and people are like, aren't you hot with the beard? Aren't you hot with the hair? I go, you ask women that question, and then they stop and go, "Oh, I guess not." Ah,
That's
see,
somewhat insensitive.
the wisdom of Todd.
But you know,
Yeah, it just
here in
what?
Montana, the beard is very popular here in Montana. That exact kind of beard you're sporting is extremely popular in Montana.
And even if guys get tired of it or they just want to change their look, that's fine. But don't let people pressure you into this is a fad. Da da da. Yeah. You know, you notice like for a while razor commercials were having women, which always gets me on those erection pill commercials and stuff. It's always busty women. Those aren't for women. They're for men. Put some men in the commercials. But anyway, so these razor this is me, Brock. I just go off on stuff.
You're all good.
Oh, thank you. That's Todd quality. But so these razor commercials where they'd have women, and it's always about the heterocentric stuff. The women are like, "Oh, when I kiss a man, I don't want him tickling my face." All this kind of shit. You know, it's just it was just the razors were losing money. Razor companies were losing money. So that's why they were trying to enforce that. And it's always, like you said, again, it's always this heterocentric view. And one I'll mention again, this is not beard related, but those awful Nugenics commercials that GNC puts out and stuff, where they have that the black sportsman guy, and guys are always walking up to him on golf courses and stuff going, "Wow, you're so, I don't know, virile," or whatever they're trying to say to him. And he's like, "Yeah, it's because of Nugenics." And then they always end the commercial, and the guys are standing next to these women who are silent. And they're standing there like geisha girls going, and because when the guy says, "And she'll like it too," and the girls go, it's so fucking misogynistic and so sexist to say that, you know, it's all about the women, you know, and the guys getting in hard and all this kind of stuff. And the women, but on the other commercials, it's the busty women going, "Blue Chew." But the thing is the eugenics ones piss me off because it's basically saying, and I wrote to them, I said, "Are you guys saying that only heterosexual men get ED or something, or that this is only for men and to get women?" Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's like, "You're so potent," or whatever these guys say. And then he's like, "Yes." And then he goes, "And she'll like it too." And it just, I don't know. That's my soapbox for the day, folks.
Well, you are a pro beard activist.
I am. And like I said, if you only want a mustache, rock the mustache. I'm fine with facial hair as long as it's. Now, here's the one thing I don't care for, and again, because I just don't understand it, and I've asked guys who wear it. One guy said, "Well, my mustache bothers my nose." Well, trim it. But this Amish look, where it's just the beard, no mustache, or a soul patch goatee thing with no mustache, I don't understand that. Enlighten me, someone, maybe, but I don't get it. I think if you want facial hair, mustache and goatee, mustache and beard. That's kind of my thing.
Guidelines.
Yeah. So there's.
I think that in Montana, it's very popular, except our indigenous populations, our Native American populations.
Yeah.
I grew up amongst Native Americans because we would travel with powwows, and this is what I've heard, and I don't know if this is entirely true or not, but Native Americans might not be able to grow beards as.
Yes. And oh God, I'm not going to say some of my best friends are, but I have. That's so cliche. But I do know Native Americans. I will not call them Indians. I'm sorry, because that's confusing, especially when I tell people, "Oh, we got a movie from India, another Bollywood. We got a movie from India, yes, in Indian," and they're thinking the wrong thing. It bugs me. But yes, I've been told by some Native Americans, yes, it's not genetically a thing where they can easily grow facial hair. Some can, especially if, you know, mixed with another race or something as far as procreation. But yeah. Oh, and by the way, Daniel, in the background is, oh, that's the menu. But I had John Calvin running on my TV in the background. That's what that was. And I can't find my remote to get it to play again. But yeah, so that is basically true. But that's, you know, but man, can the hair? Oh my God, I'm so jealous because I know some Native Americans who are like in their 70s and older, and the hair is just so thick.
Yeah.
Beautiful, long, thick, and all that. And I'm just like, oh, I'm jealous. But because me, this is all I've got at the moment. It's kind of, I'm taking minoxidil pills. I'm hoping that will help. But yeah. But yeah, you're right.
Sometimes the beard can be utilized. The beard can be pulled up over the head to form kind of a de facto hairpiece.
Yeah, I've had the wind do this thing on me, and I've seen, you know, can put my glasses over it and just have, I'm cousin it, basically.
There's also abilities.
There you go. Now it's running.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, that's Allison. Yeah, that's
Allison. She's fearless. That's oh yeah, there you go. And
that's like maybe Poseidon or
and people say, well, you know, but when you're eating and I get shit in my beard. Not shit, but food. And yes, I found bits of cake in my beard eater later, and I'll go, secondhand cake. It's come on, it's my own, it's my beard. It's not gross. But yeah, and like whenever I drink, I'll have a protein drink at night, and it's all on my mustache, and I just kind of wipe my face after each sip. It's no problem. People think they make excuses to try to negate you having your beard or something. It's like, for one thing, what's it to you?
Right.
I've had people say to me, why don't you get rid of your beard? I'd like to see what you look like without your beard. And I said, oh, so I go home, shave this off, come to you and go, look, and you go, yeah, okay. And I've done that for you. It's like a thing of control. People want to kind of tell you, get rid of your beard because I said so. And it's like, why? So here's the thing I shut people up with. I've had people say to me, why don't you, clean up? That's one thing I hate. I'm not a dirty person. Saying clean up don't do that to me. And then they will say, well, why don't you trim it? Why don't you cut it back? Why don't you get rid of it? I go, oh, excuse me. Are we going to be fucking on a regular basis? And they go, what? I said, well, you want me to change for you. So I assume we're going to be fucking on a regular basis. And they're just like, well, no, I just meant that you could. I said, don't worry about my love life. I'm fine. Yeah. I'm doing fine. Don't you worry. I said, and even if we were fucking on a regular basis, I would not compromise myself for you. So there are a zillion, and I've had people write to me and go, well, I'd like to meet you, but I would need you to get, and I would go, there are plenty of other people out there who are clean shaven. Go fuck them. I'm not doing it. I don't know. It's this control thing that people have. I guess, again, because maybe some are jealous. But no, screw that. Boy, this has turned into something fascinating because, like I said, well, I really wanted to promote your stuff too, but as long as you're comfortable veering off into these other realms.
It's connected because the Bible is just one person with a beard after another. And the beard look remarkably similar to yours.
Well, yeah. And I'm going to keep it, folks, till the day I die and taking it with me.
Todd, is there any way you can rewind that just a little bit behind you? Is there a way to keep it backwards? If not, it's no big deal, but.
Yeah.
Maybe right about, maybe just a little bit further. There's a,
Okay. Boy,
there-
this is interactive. I love it.
yeah,
Oh,
there.
those are my.
That's a friend of mine in the Bible film who has a handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I've got wax. I can do that, but I forget. Like I forget to put beard oil.
Is there a way to pause that?
Oh, yeah. Right there.
There we go. Now, give me your assessment of his facial hair?
Aces.
This is my friend Weston.
It's as Molly Ringwald said in 16 Candles, aces. She also said, if that ever happened to me, I'd shit twice and die. That's my favorite movie line. But no, that is a nice mustache. And if guys can grow them massively, I'm jealous of that. These big, thick mustaches, but that is nice. I like the twist. Oops, mine just kind of stuck that way. Oops.
Right.
No, that's
that gentleman has grown beards in the past too, but right now he's favoring a handlebar mustache.
no. I'm fine with that, and I've known guys that shaved off their beard and they just have a mustache, and I don't say, why'd you get rid of the beard? I do if they kind of had a beautiful big one, because listen, folks, you don't grow a beard like this in a year. It takes a while, and so when someone's gone that far and then get rid of it, I kind of like, oh, but if they keep the mustache, I'll be fine. Like I said, I have no say in their life. But it's fine. I just think men should have facial hair if they can grow it. And it's not a law, it's not a rule. It's just something I think, man, you guys, to me, this is like a gift.
Yeah.
And make use of it and grow it out, and even like look at give me 1 second. Talks amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. I got something right over here that I want to show you.
Oh, excellent. And Captain Cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you haven't. I don't know if I've heard you speak yet. What are your thoughts on beards?
All right.
I keep one. I pretty much like them. I mean,
and even if guys leave it a little disheveled or whatever, I'm not saying yours is, chap. Beard, man, whatever way you want to express it and express yourself.
Now, I have to keep brushing mine because mine likes to layer up and do weird shit.
And I let mine go gray during the pandemic. I used to color it because not to look younger, but I liked my auburn, like you saw in that one photo. And but during the pandemic, when I'm just shut at home, I'm like, well, why am I bothering? So I just let it go gray. And of course, that's what a lot of people like me to do for their movies because they like the gray. My current beau, Pedro.
Oh.
There he is. Say hi, Pedro. Now, you've seen people say he can't really grow a full beard. I've never seen him try, but yeah, when he's grown more hair, you can tell it's not all there. That's fine. But I like that he keeps it. It's kind of a beard.
Right.
It's expressive in its own way. It looks fine. He grows a better mustache, but yeah. And it's like, I admire that even if he can't grow a full beard, he has what he has, and it doesn't look, like I've seen guys that are kind of patchy, but that's usually really young guys who need to, oh, jeepers. There you go. See, look at that. See how thick that beard is. It's dense. But my hair kind of used to be like that. And I've aged, genetics. Like I said, I'm jealous of John Dugan, from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because at his age, his hair is bountifully thick and long. And of course, Bill Weeden, he's 85, and he's got that long hair. I'm 62, and you can see my crown.
Well, so ain't aged in 20 years. So.
Oh, Pedro's still here. Thank you, Pedro. I've got a lot of celebrities in my apartment, by the way. But it's just whatever you feel comfortable with in the long run of things is great. Even if
are there gay size queens when it comes to beards?
I've not experienced much of that. I think that there are guys who like, and we're attracted to certain things. Some would call it a fetish. There are like people who only like a certain look in people. Like I worked with a guy at a video store, mom and pop video store in St. Louis, typical all-American blonde, pretty white guy. And he only was attracted to Asian women, particularly Japanese, and of a certain height, because there's varying heights. But we all have, and if you ask people, why do you like that? What is it about that? It's really hard to explain. It's just something and some people I do know only if the guy has a beard, some only if their beard is a certain length or has to be short. Otherwise, it's like, nope. I remember once in a bar nearly 30 years ago, I don't really go to bars now. Especially with the internet, people stand around in bars looking at their phones rather than anything else. But I remember two different people in one night approached me, talked to me. It was a fine conversation. But then all of a sudden, like they were each handed a script. Well, I just couldn't sleep with a guy with long hair, though.
Right.
After all that, we were getting along. I mean, no, I don't mind being friends with people. I can be friends with people who aren't my type or whatever, but to just throw that in, like, I was like, I wanted to say, well, I wasn't expecting we were going to go home together anyway, but it's just so weird how people got to throw that out there. But yeah, there are specific requirements, man. It's just like, hey, the hanky code. I'm sure we all know about the hanky code, right? Well, if you've seen Cruising, you would know. But different colored hanky, depending on which side pocket you have it in, would mean specific things you are into.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was asking earlier about Robert Reed and Rock Hudson. Like, they were perceived to be straight men. And, in Hollywood in those days, you kind of had to, maybe for your career, you had to kind of keep that on the DL. But they both grew those, perfectly groomed mustaches.
Yeah, that was
kind of like secret code to say that we're homosexual. But there was straight men, there were straight leading men.
Yeah, but it also, because it was a more perceived masculine look. And yes, at the time, everybody was doing mustaches.
Right.
More than beards. Mustaches were the thing. And of course, sometimes things are just trends.
Right.
But it shouldn't be, say things come and go. But facial hair has always been here, man. So, some styles may come and go, but it's always there. And like, for instance, I am big on this. And I don't think Chris has a photo handy of it. But the thing I hate more than anything right now is what I call the 2023 porn hairdo on women. It's mostly blonde, but it's this wave, this flowing wave that comes down both sides and it hangs over the shoulders. It looks like they were on a production line, plunk, plunk, plunk. It's this wave. And if you see those jacuzzi bath remodel commercials, that Christine gal from one of those HGTV shows, and now this new one, exact same hairstyle. The gal that was in the Chucky TV series, I was really pissed when she was doing it, because all I could do was stare at that hairdo. and all the like Fox News blonde all got this wavy thing going on, and it just, I don't know, but it really works my nerve. So not that I'm going to go out there wanting to sleep with any of y'all women, but that hairdo, I'm sorry, I'm going to be judgy again. I will not share my cheesecake with you if you've got that hairdo. All I'm saying. So, but yeah, the beards, let's put it this way. Beards, mustaches, whichever form of facial hair you enjoy, always been here. And look at the past presidents from over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Presidents had beards.
It was only around the 20th century that they stopped having long beards.
A friend of mine, my friend Tim Barella, the cartoonist, he kind of explained to me what that was, why that change happened.
Yeah.
I will probably be talking to him on the phone tonight. I will bring it up with him and then maybe update next week what the whole deal is.
Yeah, I was looking at pictures of all the presidents just the other day and noticing that they all had beards right up around until 1900, roughly. Yeah. And then had Theodore Roosevelt with the mustache. But he might have had a beard at certain points. But and then slowly it becomes common currency that all the presidents after that all are clean shaven.
And you see some governors, some mayors have beards. The only thing right now, the highest up is unfortunately our current vice president. He has a beard, but I'm not.
That's exactly when I was looking at all the presidents. I thought we haven't had a single president with a beard for years, but the brightest contender for bringing the beard back to the White House would be J.D. Vance.
Brightest? Is that verbal irony?
He might be your best hope if you are as pro beard as I think you are. J.D. Vance.
Oh yeah, I am. Even if you're a total douchebag, I will respect that you have a beard.
What did
there you go. I'm really, this is so much. There we go.
That's Mick Jagger.
I was gonna say that's Mick Jagger. You wouldn't think by looking at him otherwise that he could grow something that, full and wonderful. But yeah, I've been, like, for instance, I will never forgive, he's gone now, but both Jimmy Buffett and Alex Trebek for shaving off their mustaches.
Right.
I think they look, I don't want to insult them by saying they look ugly, but it's like when Sam Elliott, like he was in that movie Sibling Rivalry with Kirstie Alley, I'm dating myself, and he was clean shaven for that. And I was just like, ew. Oh, Sam Elliott, no. It was hard for me to watch the movie because that's all I could see was this empty spot there. It just wasn't right. But so when Alex Trebek, everyone knew him as the guy with the mustache. And if someone say, well, it was going gray, so we color it.
Yeah.
Use some Revlon just for men. I don't know, but so it goes gray. And look at David Letterman. I wonder that if he wasn't pressured, because remember when his show first came on the air, the late night show, he wore sweaters and just casual clothing. Right. Then all of a sudden he's wearing suits. Maybe that was the network that said, no, you got to wear a suit, which I never understood why people have to have suit and ties or even to go eat dinner. What makes that any okay? But so I don't understand the format, the whole formalness.
Well, David Letterman moved here to Montana by where I live, and might be the reason he's got the long beard. And people would even his own son or something criticized him for the beard, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck him. As Wendy Testaberger said, fuck him right in the ear, because it's David's. He can do what he wants. He's his own person. I admire him so much for keeping that beard. And let's see here. I got a ding
I am assuming that Bill Weeden, he's trying to, where is his, oh, there it is, trying to get on. Let me see if I've still got the link. Yeah.
I just gave Bill. And the last president with a beard was in 1893, so right before the turn of the century. It was
wow. Okay, boys. I think I'm not saying kicking you out. Bill Weeden might be joining us. I just gave him the link. Y'all know Bill Weeden, don't you? I've heard of him.
I'm not positive.
There's Bill. Hey, Bill. Look what I'm wearing.
Oh my God, you're wearing it.
Yeah, there you are.
Good for you.
Bill, for Brock Bones here. And also Daniel, who is in the black square.
How's it going, Bill?
Bill is...
Who's asking?
He's Daniel. He's in the upper corner in the black square. He's also known as White Gardenia. And,
you're White Gardenia. Okay, good.
Yeah, and Bill is famous, I would say, first and foremost for Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD. Trauma film, which Vinegar Syndrome just released.
Yeah.
Recently, Our Man, Special Needs Revolt.
Yeah.
And Our Man Funk's coming out. But Bill also worked with a lot of the greats, didn't you?
I sure did.
Lily Tomlin, Madeline Kahn, Carol Channing, Mickey Rooney.
Who was the last one you said?
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney, Dick Shawn.
And good friends with Chris Sarandon,
Sarandon, I think he pronounces it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Paul Dooley, which I'm impressed by. That photo you showed me, I can't find it anymore, of you and Paul Dooley eating at Carl's.
Yeah, at Miss. What was the name of the place?
Well, I think it was Carl's Jr. that you guys were eating at.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Paul's favorite place.
Really?
I couldn't stand it, but it's Paul's favorite place.
I understand. Well, I couldn't stand their misogynistic commercials with Paris Hilton riding all over a sudsy car. But
I have seen those things, right? Yeah, they're disgusting.
The thing I was really happy about Paul Dooley, though, was I was happy for him when they released the director's cut of Little Shop of Horrors, which I prefer. In the theatrical cut, they replaced Paul Dooley with Jim Belushi. But in the director's cut, it's Paul Dooley.
I wonder why they replaced him.
I don't know. It was the same scene.
Maybe
it led into a musical number, I think, but it was the same scene. Ward Fowler, they're saying hey to Bill.
Hey,
but yeah, Paul Dooley is in the director's cut. I never found out why that happened. And 16 Candles. Paul Dooley. He's the
Breaking Away. Have you seen Breaking Away?
Yep.
He's great in that.
And I'm just so envious that you knew all these really cool people.
Yeah.
So welcome, Bill. We were discussing beards, which you did have in The Power of Positive Murder.
I had a beard. See, I had a beard for two movies in a row there. So I grew it for The Power of Positive Murder, but I really grew it for the other movie, which is a short called She Rises Again. I think it's called She Has Risen. She Has Risen. It's called. It hasn't come out yet, but it's very good.
Are you going to grow a beard for Gonzo Geezer Gorefest?
Probably not, but for you, not for you. But
the three of us. I mean, it's so Brock and Daniel. It's planned that there will be a road trip buddy kind of slasher with Bill Weeden, myself, and John Dugan from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I don't know. I thought because John has a beard and I have a beard, I thought maybe you would join in. You don't have to.
Maybe I'll be the only one without. I just don't like the way. I know you like the way.
I think you look great.
You like the way everybody looks better with a beard, but I would love to look great for you, but for myself, I gotta please me first,
Yeah, no, and again, that's fine. So like I said, I don't judge Bill for being clean shaven. But
I don't judge you.
It's fine. It's totally fine. Bill's Bill, man.
beard.
Bill is Bill Weeden, and you don't question it. You just don't.
And Mr. Bones is who? I'm sorry, Bones.
Here.
Brock.
Sorry.
Fill Bill in a little on everything, if you will.
Hi. Yeah, nice to meet you. It's an honor.
Hey, don't go there. You don't know.
Brock was in Fallacies.
Brock
He directed the one where he's in the water and the woman in the woods and
the weird vampire thing.
Yeah, where she kind of did his dick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. With your clothes on, I don't recognize you.
Yeah, there you go. That's. I almost said that earlier, but
I get that all the time.
Listen,
hey, no, that's fine. You were memorable, Brock, but naked or clothed, you're memorable.
I'm coming up on my 5th nude movie, so there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fallacies. There we go. I wasn't sure if I could put that one up. Remember when I was posting stills from last week's show, I was going to post a still of us with that image, and I wasn't sure if Facebook would have given me grief over it. So
yeah, I know Facebook pretty much destroyed all the fucking marketing promos.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's funny. They were for a while in my timeline showing videos of women nursing babies.
Yeah, sometimes fake babies too. Yeah.
And it wasn't really they were in the guise of educational, but it was just so they could show bare breasts.
Yeah.
And also it was kind of creepy because it was so the men could go, ugh, but having a baby sucking on it was kind of like, well, that's creepy. It's not creepy that it's natural and beautiful, but if they're trying to turn men on, having a baby there, and I was like Xing all of them out. I was getting so pissed that they were, and Facebook will show all these weird stuff exploiting women, but something like this image, oh God, no, that's
any guy who gets turned on by the sight of a woman nursing a baby has a sickness of his own.
I mean, some would say, well, it's natural, it's beautiful, but it's not supposed to be erotic.
It's not supposed to be erotic, and it's not erotic unless you're a sick fuck. In which case, it might be erotic. I don't know.
They were posting them like these were kind of educational in some way.
Yeah, posting as a loophole, kind of like an exploitation.
Yeah. And I saw right through that. It irked me to no end. But yeah, so at least we understand. But no, Brock. So Brock did Fallacies. And I want to say I'm in Fallacies. I told Demetriano and John, I said, if you wanted to at least use some of my photos that were done back in 2011 that I'm very proud of, I've
seen them.
Or even the one that Hippie Dick is based off of, where I'm holding the champagne bottle and there I am. I said, you can use photos if you want, like in between segments, if you're going to show photos of men or something, feel free. But they decided they were just going to do the short films. But I was like, yeah, use anything you want.
You would overshadow everybody else.
I would cause a shadow too. Yes.
You might.
But I don't just, all right. There's Captain just shaking his head. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to go there. But no,
Bill,
it's this, huh?
I was just going to ask Bill, in what film were you acting with Dick Shawn?
No, I wasn't in a film with Dick. I wrote material for Dick.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Yeah, that was before I became an actor. I was a writer. I was a songwriter, and a comedy writer, and I wrote some musical material for Dick for a Broadway show.
Dick, Fallacies.
Did you write musical material for Carol Channing as well?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
and
amazing.
Lily Tomlin, wasn't it the Edith Ann stuff?
Lily, I didn't write music. Well, actually, Lily sang some of my songs, but I didn't write. Actually, okay. I did write some material for her, but the main thrust of the writing I did for her was not musical. It was comedy stuff for Edith Ann and for.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Look at that. And it's a Bosendorfer. That's Tori Amos's preferred piano. But there you are.
That's Tori Amos's piano?
Well, no, she always plays on a Bosendorfer. That's her.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's like the primo, beyond Cadillac, primo piano in the world.
That's for a cabaret act I was doing.
Well, you were doing it in class.
In what?
You were doing it with class or in class with this.
With class.
That Bosendorfer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still write music, Bill?
I will if they pay me, but they hardly ever do.
Yeah.
but yeah, I still do once in a while. You can see a song that I wrote with my partner on YouTube. If you Google Democracy, Bill Weeden, or you.
Oh yeah.
There's a song.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And there's a song I wrote for the New York Yankees called One Big Team. That was back in '88. And that's me singing it. It's warning. It's very long. It's over 5 minutes long, but if you're a Yankee fan, it really works. I'm not a Yankee fan, but I wrote it anyway.
Right.
And after all of this gloriousness that you've done over the years, I get to smack you with a leather strap.
And boy, did I love it. He made my butt so red.
And all for art, you know.
And you can see it. Look at the shirt. You'll see that there's a rosy cheeks right there. Although but the thing is, the whole thing about it was for Psycho Ape 2, The Wrath of Kong. I remember when you mentioned it, and you told me before we even showed up on set, don't hold back. We don't want it to look fake. Yeah.
Just
I also got spanked in Special Needs Revolt.
Special Needs Revolt.
Yeah. I told him.
I remember. It reminds me. I just watched an interview with Barbara Boucher, the star who is in a lot of Italian gialli, and she was saying in the interview how we don't want the hitting to look fake. So she said, just go ahead and hit me. Right. And she would deal with it. And so for Psycho Ape 2, and this was funny, and I did not feel awkward at all because right across from me and Bill
is the best thing yet. Democracy's the best thing ever. Democracy is the best thing yet. Do we want to lose it? Never. Democracy is the best thing yet. Democracy's the best thing ever. Democracy is the best thing yet. Do we want to lose it?
Democracy's the best thing yet.
Democracy's the best thing ever.
Democracy's the best thing yet.
Do we want to lose it?
Yes.
Democracy's the best thing yet.
Democracy's the best thing
Democracy's the best thing ever.
Democracy's
the best thing yet.
Democracy's the best thing
yet. Do we want to lose it?
Don't want to lose it.
Democracy is the best thing yet. Democracy's the best thing ever. Democracy is the best thing yet. Do we want to lose it? Never.
Democracy's the best thing yet.
Democracy's the best thing yet.
Democracy's the best thing yet.
Democracy's
the best thing
yet.
Do we want to lose it?
Don't want to lose it. Democracy is the best thing ever. Democracy is the best thing. We want to lose it. Never. Democracy's the best thing. Democracy's the best thing. Democracy's the best thing. Yes.
That puts my song "Fancy Crackers in My Pants" to shame. You need to, with everything going on right now, I am surprised. I think you need to get your song sent to Rachel Maddow. Somebody.
That's actually a good idea. We're trying to get the song around to people that will promote.
I think if you got it to someone like Rachel Maddow, I think she would put it on her show. and people on MSNBC, anybody who's concerned about anything right now would want to, because that song is just way too relevant for all that. And here we were talking about smacking your butt, and then we get democracy.
Well, my butt has been smacked by the
best.
By the worst also.
Oh, well, you know, I was going to say, I think what's so great about all of it was while we were on set, which was Greg's, basically his bungalow. So across from me and Bill, and I'm standing there in, because I don't, Chris, I don't know if you had that photo of the behind the scenes shot of me and Bill that I think we've shown before. So I'm standing there in nothing but a leather jacket and a leather jockstrap. And of course, they said my feet were not going to be seen, so I just kept my socks and sandals on. So talk about mixed media. That's what us people in the leather community, if you're wearing like a cardigan sweater and a leather vest and boots, that's not right. But so across from me and Bill is Greg and Addison standing behind the camera. And over to my right was Dolores, Bill's wife, sitting there just smiling, and Philip Proctor from the original Firesign Theater sitting there. And I forgot who else was in there. But after, you know, we were like, okay, action. We weren't like told, okay, here's how we're going to do it. I just was like, okay, action. So I gave Bill a swat. No one said anything. Not like, okay, cut, or let's do it again. So I didn't pause because I thought, okay, this would ruin the shot. So I just kind of did it again. Nothing. So I kind of put my hand, I was going to like, you know, because usually when you're doing swatting like that, sometimes the dominant person will kind of do a slight rub with the hand to sort of ease things. I was intending to do that, but I think from what you could see on camera, it doesn't really show it. And then I just a third time. And after that, I brought my hand back like I was ready to do it again. But that's when they said, okay. And what was weird is they said, Todd, was that good for you? And I was like, well, you're the directors, you know, did that look all right? Does that look for you? Bill, you know, and everything was fine. And then they said, okay, that's a wrap for Todd Jaeger. And everybody, and Dolores and Philip, everybody's just smiling and clapping. I thought, how wonderful and supportive that your good friend and your wife are sitting there and they're just like, yeah.
I wanted to kiss that strap on camera, but no.
Well, you should have said something. Maybe we could have got a shot of that, because the other shot that was not included, maybe we'll get deleted scenes one day, is that I had my box of goodies I brought with me. It was funny too, because I went outside the bungalow where Neil, Annabelle, and I don't know if Alok or others were out there. And I come outside and I'm just in that jockstrap and the leather jacket. And I'm getting the box of all kinds of goodies. And they saw me and they had no idea what the scene was about. So when they saw me and they saw my butt, I was like, oh God, I wonder what they're thinking. So I go back inside and I pull out a collar and a chain and I put it on Bill, and Bill was eating the cheesecake and I'm yanking on the collar and he's like, ugh, trying to eat the cheesecake. And that didn't make it into the film. But yeah, we were prepared to do other things. I had a whole box of stuff. I even had my speculum with me, but I didn't think we were going to need that.
I found the speculum in.
People, I'm really a nice guy and I'm really sweet and cuddly. We just all have things about our lives that are just a little different. So, you know.
I'm going to do a series where he pummels the hell out of me.
Well, I'm proud. I'm very proud and honored because, you know, Bill, for many of us, Bill is an icon and a legend. And yes, and here I got to do something this unusual. And Chris from Horror Homeschool said it was the best scene in the best film of the year. He singled out that scene out of the entire movie as his favorite. And he got really excited on his podcast when he told the other person, and there's a t-shirt. And he was like, I ordered it. I can't wait to get it, you know. So I thank you, Bill, for demanding that I be in a scene with you. And I'm giddy.
I demand that you're going to be in a movie with me now.
Yeah, that's what G Sully said. I told him Todd's going to be in a scene with me. I'm like, oh.
Is he or is he not charismatic?
Oh.
The answer is yes.
Look, I just like having a good time. Yeah. I'm me. I jaw on a bit. I like to have fun and show
just
my
teensy little bit.
Teensy little bit. Speaking of fallacies, no, that's Pickle Rick. But
what's that?
But icon, yeah. See, Chillers Theater says you're an icon, Bill.
Is that really? Oh my God! Yeah, Chiller Theater. Right.
Well, Chillers
Theater. Chillers Theater.
Yeah.
I tried to get in touch with them. I can't seem to get in touch with them. I don't know.
Hey, Chillers, send Bill.
They're on your Twitter.
Send me a link so I can get in touch with you guys.
Well, they're also on Facebook, so guys, reach out to Bill.
Send me your Facebook, and I'll send it to
Bill. Wants to be your friend. You do not turn that down.
I'll send it to Todd, and Todd will send it to Bill. One of us will send it to Bill.
Yeah, so it's
Bill.
But,
just out of curiosity, did any of the musical material you wrote for Dick Shawn, is any of that in the producers? Because I know he did some musical numbers in that one.
No, we did the producers before we did the show. The show I did for Dick was in 1968. Then I did some other work with him. I got to know him quite well. And then he died on stage.
Oh,
yeah. He died young. He died way too soon.
He was in his 50s, I believe.
I was trying to think of the last movie I saw him in.
He was in a Mad World, and
oh my God, that movie! And you know what's funny is the opening segment of It's Mad World, where they're going over those mountain roads, the twisty. That road is about just a couple miles down the road from me.
Oh,
it
wow.
starts at the base of Palm Desert. Well, the slope of Palm Desert. It starts there, Highway 74, and I will not drive that road. Freaks the fuck of me out. And when I'm riding in a car with somebody, whether we're going up the road or down the road, I'm constantly pressing on my imaginary brake. It's just it's scary. So there you go. But yeah, he was also, wasn't he in it was that Ali Sheedy movie where she played a maid.
Made in Hollywood?
Made to order something.
Made to order, yeah.
Wasn't he in that?
He was in Penelope with Natalie Wood.
Yeah.
I believe.
He was a character in all those. You couldn't not, look away. He made a presence.
He's by far the best sequences in It's a Mad World are with Dick Shawn.
Oh my God, yeah, when he's got that woman dancing in the bikini.
He was extremely talented.
Yeah.
Oh God, he could sing too, couldn't he? Yeah, he could
remarkable
really
on a film filled with so many. I mean, every comedian is in that film. The Three Stooges are in the film. Milton Berle's in the film. I mean, everyone. And the fact that he outstages everyone. Just, I think.
What's sad is you cannot get the actual.
Okay,
you can't get what?
You can't get the original complete version of the film anymore. The closest you can get is on the Criterion edition, wherever they found audio portions but could not find footage. So they so during the movie, if you watch the full movie, you will see a still on the screen for a bit while the audio's playing, and then it moves on. But apparently some of those scenes they cannot find anymore. Yeah, I'm coming, babe. I'm coming, baby.
That's one of the great scenes in any comedy ever. I hate to say it, I'm at the library. I had to do this at the library, and unfortunately, some other people have reserved this room, so unfortunately, I have to call it good.
Yeah,
but,
I think I have to hop off too, to be honest.
Oh well, thank you guys for sticking around. Like I said, you're welcome to hang out as long as you want, and it's just so great having you on. And I guess we'll see. Brock, we'll see you naked at some point again.
Probably, yeah.
Well, we expect it, and no, I'm just thank you guys so much because like I said, I was concerned I wasn't, and I've said this before, that what am I going to have to say to fill up a whole thing, or just let Daniel go on and cover everything. But you guys just made this a great variety show, and I appreciate it. There you are. There you go, Daniel. Thank you both so much. And hey, anytime you want to pop back in, and
thank you guys, I really appreciate it. Really enjoyed being on the show, and thanks Todd, thanks Bill, and what Jack? Is it Jack Sini?
Yeah. Oh, Captain Cartooner Jack. Yeah.
Great, and Bone for also joining me, and so would love to do it again. Really enjoyed it.
And Brock, if you need any kind of weird hippie look in one of your things, I'll be glad to do it. So,
me too.
All right. Well, you guys, whenever you want to zip out, you can either click on your own button if you know how to do that, or
I need to leave.
Well,
it was nice to meet you, Bill.
Love you.
Okay.
Hey, wow! Oh my God, that went on for an hour and a half, and I didn't expect that, and I don't mind as long as you guys don't mind. Like I said, we covered every topic known to Earth, basically, except for why Cher won an Oscar, but that's okay.
Yeah.
No, okay, so
she did write the last disco song ever.
Take Me Home. Is that the one you're referring to?
Oh, what's the one? Oh shit.
Take Me Home. Home is where I want to be, because I have that 12-inch single.
Oh no. Do you believe in life after love?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Because of that, she started this whole auto-tuning thing. Everybody had to auto-tune after that. And I never understood why that song, it's like, I'm sorry, but that doesn't want me to believe in love if I'm hearing it sounding like she's chewing on something. So she could have sang it regular. I wish they release another version of the song where it doesn't have the fucking auto-tune. I hate auto-tune, and that's one reason why I stopped listening to Erasure. I was a huge Erasure fan, bought all their records, all their singles, everything. And then they came out with, I think it was around 2014 or something, the album Tomorrow's World, and every goddamn song, and I don't know if it was the producer's insistence, every song sounds like he's got a huge nasal problem. And it's all auto-tune, and there's some great songs on that album, but I can't listen to them because stop it. Just please stop it. The other thing I want people to stop doing is using the term fire. That's fire. Fucking hate it. Someone tried to inform me, Ian out there tried to inform me that, well, people have been using that term for years. I only started hearing it nearly 30 years after I moved to California. I don't know. So stop saying that's fire. It drives me nuts. Now, here's the thing for Chris and Jack. Since we went over today, do you guys want to hold off on Woods Witch review for next week? Or did you want to kind of mention it here? It's up to you guys. I've got nothing to do, but have lunch soon. If you like, because it said deep thoughts. I guess you were saying deep thoughts because what I was just talking about. I didn't know if that was a cue from Chris to tell me we're going to stop. It's all up to you guys. I don't care. My time is your time. Woods Witch. Okay. You have, I think Chris said he had a trailer for that. And if you want to throw that one up on the screen. or whenever we can talk, and he can just bring it up whenever. Let's see here. Let me grab my notes. Also for people, I did a review of Woods Witch, 2 years ago or something, on Neil's Without Your Head Horror Podcast. The review is on YouTube. Look up the Todd Sampler Woods Witch, or go to the Without Your Head Horror channel. You'll find it in there. It's also
that
on my
Vimeo. We don't know what that movie was.
No, it's Woods Witch. And you can find it on my Vimeo channel as well. I think here we go.
I just came up with an amazing idea for a video. Jocelyn, wake up. We got to do a 48-hour challenge video.
What? I say hi to my social media.
Hey, going out to the woods. Calm down, Charlie. It's all right.
Where are we, guys?
I'm doing a documentary, on urban legends and stuff like that that's out here, and we want to know about anything creepy out in the woods, anything scary.
I really need to end this appointment now.
I hear you guys are planning on camping in the woods. Wonder if you really know what you're getting into.
No.
Here we are.
It's creepy out here, all right.
I have got one more ghost story. When you call Suicide Sandy in a mirror 3 times, her image will appear. Suicide Sandy. Suicide Sandy. Suicide Sandy. Oh, shit.
Darcy, are you all right?
Yeah, are you okay? Did you see that?
You called on something, and something came.
Robert.
Darcy, what is going on? Are you all right?
Don't fight with me. To stop filming right now.
But I'm out of here. I don't know what you fuck this.
We are gathered here in this sacred spot.
There's some severely weird shit going around here, man.
If you go in those woods, you're not going to come out.
Be one with Mother Nature. Stop!
The bleeding tree. I found my way out. Let's get out of here.
Okay, so why I'm laughing is I think they, on purpose, led you, well, those of us who know better, but that trailer leads you to believe that you're in for some frights. The trailer is kind of the opposite of the actual movie. Like, I love how the trailer jumps to them on the road to the woods immediately. It takes about a half hour before they actually do that. But even then, you don't mind that they're not in the woods yet, because the stuff going on and them talking to people, and I'm sure a lot was improv. It's so funny, and the editing is tight, so they keep things going. Lauren Francesca, the girl who played, the main influencer, she her quick, like, every time a scene will cut, like they're like, stop the video or something, she'll like say something or do a reaction right before the cut that will just have you laughing. So basically what the movie, oh shit, I used to have it on my screen here. So what we're basically getting is you have Sean Phillips and Lauren Francesca, who are both the directors and the writers of this one and the stars. They're influencers and they're trying to gain more of a reputation. So they're going to do a Blair Witch kind of thing and go to, was it Allensville or something? And they kind of ask another couple of influencers, Eugene and Dacia, what a name, to join them and go to these woods and find that the forest will never be the same. That's right. Well, that's for sure, in many ways more than one. But no, it's totally not scary. There is one scene, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's a comedy. This thing is a comedy, and I'm, like I said, I'm pretty sure a bit of it was improv. And there is a scene with Robert Lasardo. We know who Robert Lasardo is. And I really would like to know, I'll have to ask Meredith, because she's good friends with Robert, what got Robert, how did they contact him, and how did they think of him to ask to do this part? And, you know, Robert does have a fun side to him. And so I'm assuming he just thought it would be a lot of fun to just kind of, I was answering Bill there, to just do something silly, because his character
he's still serious as hell.
Oh,
all the way through.
he's very serious in almost a tongue-in-cheek way, but it's still a Robert Lasardo serious. That's one of the more serious. That's one of the, I'd say, close to the movie that poster will get. The other artwork makes it look like you're going to get some kind of incredible frightening, and that's not a problem, because they're kind of joking with you or playing a joke on you by making you think you're going to get this terrifying movie, and instead you're surprised and you're laughing. But Robert Lasardo did a scene where, excuse me, I don't know, can you guys hear that when my computer dings? Or, oh, there we go. That was just Bill saying he had such a great time. So thank you, everybody, for welcoming him. But Lauren is in a tent doing a Blair Witch-like tent confession. And suddenly in the background, Robert Lasardo is just standing there. You can just see his face in the background behind her, just lurking there, not moving, not doing anything, just standing there. But he's humming a tune while it's so bizarre. You kind of stop and go, oh my God, this is strange. It's kind of creepy, but at the same time, it's all funny. To me, that's one of my favorite movie scenes. I have a lot of favorite movie scenes, but that one is one of them because it's so different and it's so random. And Robert did add, because when you see Robert Lasardo, if you didn't know he was in this, you'd be like, oh my God, that's Robert Lasardo. And usually when that happens, yeah, in a movie, I'm distracted too much. But in this movie, anytime a face appeared that you were surprised to see, it was wonderful. Yeah, he was very and very soft spoken in it. He only yelled, like in the trailer, he yelled stop once really loud, but otherwise he was just zen or something through the whole movie.
Yeah, he's got this way of just telling you how it is without raising his voice.
Yeah,
right.
But like I said, I've seen his humorous side. He did a little, I guess he was sitting in his car and he sang happy birthday to Meredith, who does reviews for movies and stuff. And so he sang a little happy birthday to her on a video, and she shared it with me so I could see it. And he's got a funny side too, but he's very articulate. His interview with Neil when he was on the Without Your Head horror podcast, he was just so fascinating because he's very serious about his craft and he's very articulate. And like, then he could do something as strange as, if you're familiar with that show that was on FX called Dave, about the guy that was a rapper.
Yeah.
And he did a very risque, shocking, but funny sort of music video that Dave was rapping about doing something with Robert that was sexual. And I was just like, wow, good on you. You know, he can do no wrong, you know. Even when he was in Nip Tuck, I had problems with that show Nip Tuck because I felt that they were too exploitive on the female side of things. But Robert played a very seriously and, you know, almost frightening character in that show. But so, yeah, Robert Lasardo, see it for him, if nothing else. But it also had James Duval, who... Let's see here. I got my little stack of things to share because of that. James Duval is amazing in a movie called Beast Mode. If you haven't seen that, you must. But James Duval was the fake French guy, as they called him in the beginning of the film. He only had a cameo. But again, in a movie from Sean Phillips or a Francesca Phillips co-production, you're going to get cameos. Sally Kirkland, as I mentioned. Hers was more of kind of a regular role in the movie, and she was having a ball. She was cussing up a storm, being a little slutty with the cameraman. And she aging naturally and gracefully. I admire Sally for that instead of all the stuff. But it was a hoot seeing her. You can tell that everyone involved doing even a cameo. Tom Sizemore in a jail cell with Brent Lundberg, I think. These are just cameos, but you can tell everyone is having a ball. They are having a good time. And the thing is, too, is some of the dialogue that I think is improv still sounds like it was a natural part of the film, almost like it was scripted. Nothing sounded too fake, like they're just making up as they go along.
Really do. Even the Russian in the barn, that wasn't too fake. I mean,
no, but some of the dialogue that you thought maybe they were riffing on still sounded like it perfectly was a part of the movie. Yeah, there he is, Tom Sizemore in the jail cell with the guy who masturbates all the time. It was just so odd. And so what the whole setup, and this is all before they go to the woods. There's all these cameos and things, and you almost forget that this movie is eventually supposed to be in the woods because you're enjoying these scenes. These scenes are funny. And the mayor was Lisa Wilcox, who I'm familiar with. Just all these people. It's like, how did they get some of these people to be in this? Now, Sean Phillips. Oh, that scene. Lick my nipples.
Oh my God.
I had to pause it at when I first saw it because I was laughing so hard at this scene right here.
Yeah, because it's the most like unsex scene ever.
Aside from MacGruber. If you saw MacGruber and you thought that sex scene was awkward and uncomfortable, this one tops that. It's funny as hell, really, and good on you, Sean, for feeling uninhibited and just doing that. Now, there's Sean. They make a great team. Now, Sean and Francesca also did Amityville Karen. Now, Sean's responsible for a lot of these Amityville movies, like Amityville Bigfoot and Amityville Interview. What a title, Amityville Interview. This one, hit or miss, but it has its moments. Francesca Lawrence is the Amityville Karen in it. And, Robert's work in this Anarchy Parlor. Also, American, what was it? His latest one he did that's really a bleak film. Even the birds wondering. But the thing is, with all these SRS and SCS titles, they're hit or miss. You're going to get a stinker or you're going to get something that's like this one had some laughs in it. I had an opportunity to be in this one, but I did not want to pay the perk. It would have cost me too much money, and I would have had to driven over Highway 74 to get to San Diego, and I did not want to do that. But Mike Ferguson, my Toilet Zombie Baby co-star, is in this one as well. And I know Eric Anthony Russo does a lot of DP for Dustin Ferguson and has appeared in some of the Sean Phillips. And also, here's what's really weird. You'll get ones that are trashy and ridiculous, but funny like this. And then one of his recent ones was Desert Fiends, which has Carl Solomon, who's also in Woods Witch. And my friends, personal friends, Miss Sadistic and David Vega, who were in Cannibal Comedian together. They're in, Big Top Evil together. They're in Desert Fiends together. And they promised me one day they're going to get me in a movie with them. I want to be in scenes with them. But, so it shows that Phillips, and especially when it's Phillips and Francesca, like they see there's a misleading one, but that's the joke. Their movies are consistent in a way that they keep them going. They know what they need to do. And the dialogue is witty. Like when Lauren was inviting Lasardo, why don't you come with us to our camp? And the other girl, Dacia, who's funny as hell, is looking at her going, what the fuck? It just, it's like, did they riff some of this or was that planned? Because a lot of it was incredibly witty. And, for a no budget, silly movie, Woods Witch is amazing. Now, you're going to get, like I said, with every Woods Witch, you're going to get something lesser. It's like the same, because also Sean Phillips appears in many of Dustin Ferguson's movies. And if you've seen Dustin's, he does this kind of thing, but his are different. He tends to have longer shots, people walking down trails, and sometimes the movies just end abruptly. But for instance, with Sean Phillips involved in some of these, for every movie that I enjoyed, like Arachnado, which Mike Ferguson and Eric Anthony Russo have a great opening scene with my also friend from Toilet Zombie Baby, Maya White Cloud, there in the opening of Arachnado. And the movie is stupid as hell, but it's funny. And also an Ebola Rex. For every Ebola Rex and Arachnado, you're going to then wind up with a 5G Zombies, which was, I'm sorry, Dustin, this one was torturous. You got zombies in the beginning of the movie, but all the other movies were just people like confined to their homes, like during COVID, and talking to the camera, and oh no, they're breaking in, and then it moves on. So no, and then also Demonoids, which Sean Phillips was in this one, but the Demonoids were like sock puppets. So, I mean, watch them for the sheer weirdness and stupidity, baby. But like I said, for whenever you get these, you're still going to wind up getting ones that are much more fun, like Arachnado and that. And the same with Sean's films. You're going to get some that you're going to kind of shake your head and go, oh my God. And then you're going to get a Woods Witch. And I'd say watch Amityville Karen just for there's some funny bits in there. Lauren is an amazing actress, writer, whatever you want to call it. She has wit and talent. Her back and forth between Sean and Woods Witch is astounding and very naturally flowing. Even if they're riffing, it flows. And she was fun as Amityville Karen. Even that movie's a lesser movie, but no, everything about Woods Witch. More people, and even Sean mentioned, what is this? More people, more. People kept piling up, and there were just too many people. But that was also fun. I thought, oh no, they're going to show tits, and they did. But then the guy standing next to her pulled up and then you got the other going, ooh, with his binoculars at the guy. It totally acceptable. I'll give him that. The reactions, if you look carefully at other actors, especially Dacia, the reactions that are given, her looks and everything, they're just so... You got to catch him quick. And we talked about the sex scene. Oh, like with all these types of movies, Sean does it a lot in his movies. You can be on a missing persons poster, or in this case, a lot of people on the wanted posters. Because like they even said, oh, look at all these people. Oh, there's a woman. That was a way to showcase people who paid a perk to be in the movie. I've done it. Although one film, I won't mention the director, I did the perk. I was featured in a photo and I never got credit in the movie. And I was not happy about that. But all those people, and I think the picture of the missing boy was the son of Amy, who was also in Toilet Zombie Baby Strikes Back. So you have there's connections from me and all these others in it. But all those missing person posters and wanted posters are people who like paid a perk so that they can appear in the movie. Now, I did it for Sean 3 years ago, and the movie is still in post-production, called Pay to Die. He said that they're working on some editing things, and that's fine whenever. I just want to see it because I did a video thing and an audio. So my voice will be heard at some point, but I will be seen in it as well. So I don't have any clue how Pay to Die is going to look, what it's really about, but I'll be in that. So I will be in a Sean Phillips movie, and Lauren Francesca will be in that as well. So I just got to say, unless you have some things you want to add on to about Woods Witch, because
no, I thought it was the perfect. I will watch that any day over Blair Witch.
Yeah, and the reason I didn't, the reason I didn't have a Blu-ray of Woods Witch to show you is because I haven't bought it yet. It's on my list. I am broke as fuck right now, especially after. Give me 1 second so I can figure out what the hell I just did. Oh, here they are. They were half off. They were half off, folks. So give me a break. But the 4K releases of Alice, Sweet Alice, with 3 different versions of the film, Holy Terror and Communion are on it. Don't Torture a Duckling, Non si Sebizio un Paperino, Lucio Fulci's masterpiece, and The Stuff, which if you get it now, you get the 4K limited edition. It comes with a Blu-ray with the pre-release version of the film that has 30 extra minutes of footage. And, you know, so I'm broke for a while. These were much cheaper, but still I'm broke. So Woods Witch is what I'm getting at. That'll be my next SRS purchase. Woods Witch is worth owning if you enjoy this kind of humor. It's a great film. So I guess, is that one of the DVD releases? That's the cover? Because I thought the cover was the one that's up in the corner of the screen was the actual cover, but it looks like it's that. Okay. So is that an SRS sleeve? I can't tell. Boy, it says DTS. That's big deal. They got superior sound on it. Wow. But no, Woods Witch was a complete surprise. Because, you know, I thought, okay, a Sean C. Phillips movie, because I had seen End of O'Karen, I have seen others, and I thought, okay, let's see what we get. And I already did Pay to Die. Yeah, the stuff, it's great. I highly recommend getting it. Oh, I'm not trying to plug a thing. I don't know if it's still going on this week, but last week, Barnes & Noble had a 50% off sale. Barnes & Noble, besides Walmart, Barnes & Noble is the place to go to get movies, though they charge like a higher full retail price. But, you know, you'll get your 50% off sale for Criterion or Arrow. They had a 50% off on Arrow titles last week, at least. But they now have a special rack for Criterion, A24, Arrow, Kino Lorber, a special rack for those labels. And so I try to wait for a sale. And if they don't have, like, they did not have Don't Torture a Duckling in stock. So I was able to order it and still get the sale price.
Nice.
So yeah, there's that. But Woods Witch is what I'm getting at here. Is Woods Witch is next on my list for an SRS purchase, as well as Pay to Die, because I looked up Pay to Die on IMDb and it still says post-production. And I messaged Sean about it because I'm just eager to see how my little bits were put in, but it will hopefully come out at some point because I'm still waiting. And news for, I had mentioned the movie Essence that Lynn Lowry is in. That makes 2 movies I'm in with that Lynn Lowry is in, which is amazing. The other is What Have You Done, Daniel, from Domiziano. But Essence, Jeff has been posting stills of effects and things he's been doing. So he is finishing the film up. I know that he first put out some rough footage on YouTube back in 2019. So he's been working on this film for several years, and he's promised he's getting it done. And I'm really excited. Jeff, we're gunning for you. Oh, that's in these days, I don't want to say gunning. We're rooting for you. Keep it going and finish it, because I also, real film fanatics. Thank you, chillers. I'm just really, I did a lot of scenes for Essence. I lighted my own scenes, and I did these monologues. I'm sort of the astral being that is the Greek chorus of the film, and I did some long paragraphs. It's not easy for me to memorize a lot of stuff like that, and I managed to do it, and I was proud of those scenes. And so, yeah, I want to see how they turn out. I want to see this movie completed so I can see what he did with my stuff. So yes, Jeff, please keep going, get it done. And so there we go. Let me see what else I had to mention. So we were talking about Woods Witch, Blair Witch, but one that we do have to give a shout out to. I couldn't find my Blu-ray or DVD of Blair Witch. I thought I had them categorized properly, and they're not in the right place. But I did want to have shout out for the last broadcast. This one came out about
thick as hell.
Well, this is the 101 label import. This is a Region B Blu-ray, so you got to have an all-region player. There was a DVD years ago. Now, this one has been said to have been made before the Blair Witch Project. They are similar. This one's about the Jersey Devil. And this is a great movie. Highly recommend the last broadcast. See, they're in the woods with their film crew. And the other one I would recommend for this type of thing that I love so much is Lake Mungo, which I have the Australian import release of that in a deluxe set. But so if you're a Blair Witch fan, Bogus Witch Project, that was one that was kind of hit or miss. It was a bunch of short parodies of Blair Witch. But last broadcast, I highly recommend. And Woods Witch, you want to have some giggles, be forgiving that it doesn't jump into the woods as soon as possible. And in these woods, you got cabins, trailers, you see power lines. So, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's funny as hell, witty, sharp. Editing is great. So what can I say? It was a great surprise. I remember you said it was an awesome surprise on your one post, and loads of fun. It's on Tubi for free with ads. But
that
I
just
definitely
makes it feel like you're watching an actual YouTube video.
Yeah, it does. It does. And but I will say that if you like it, support physical media and these boutique labels and buy the Blu-ray. I think the Blu-ray for Woods Witch is 19 something right now, 19.99 or 19.95. And you're going to have a little shipping and maybe tax. But now there are stupid movies that I paid about that much money for that I totally regretted. Because then when I think in terms of how long did I work at my job to earn that amount of money to pay for that piece of shit? You know, I know you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's some movies that I bought blind and I was just like, oh God, I'll never get that money back.
We're talking to you, Power Rangers readers, we won.
Well, you know what? People are gonna hate me, but I purchased Smile 2. I got the 4K. I paid extra. One popped up on the shelf after they had already sold. I didn't see it in the theater. I saw Smile. I thought Smile was okay. I didn't like the jump scares because they relied on a lot of jump scares. But then Smile 2 came out. And I thought, well, friends of mine said I might like it. Okay. And I didn't have things like Peacock and all that yet. So I bought it. I watched it. And I was like, so people are different with movies. I know, like with Weapons. I haven't seen Weapons yet. I've seen chunks from it. But I have friends that loved it, friends that said, no, it was dumb. No in between. Yeah, I just haven't bothered to go see it yet because I won't see a horror movie anymore with a crowd because some say it's more fun. There you go, chillers. But I can't stand people. They may turn their volume or their phones off, but they don't turn the notification when they get an email. So you hear dings. You will hear people whispering, people talking, rustling of loud rappers. And I have a friend that I swore to him, and he didn't do it the last time we went to a movie together, but he would have this problem of taking his phone out every minute and a half, just quickly scroll and then put it down. And then a minute and a half later, and out of my peripheral vision, I'm just like, I wanted to kill him. And I told him, I'm never going to the movies with you again if you do that. And thankfully, didn't last time. But yeah, horror movies, I want to be able to watch them, even if they're silly horror movies, and just get engrossed. Like, I fortunately saw Bring Her Back, like late at night on a slow night. And I think there was maybe 2 or 3 other people in there, and they were the kind that were there to seriously see the movie. And it was a great experience. But other times I've just had things ruined. Like when I saw The Witch, it was a full auditorium. People were not as respectful. And right when the movie finished, and I was like, wow, that was a great movie. These 2 chicks in front of me, one of them went, that was stupid. And I just like, fuck, you ruined the whole thing. So yeah, I'm over seeing horror movies with big crowds. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. And it looks like the other gals are trying to steal his popcorn, but no, they're pissed, and rightfully so. No, I won't do that. So I usually wait till they come out on disc, or I will catch them another way. I want to support movie theaters. We all should. You know, they're important, but physical media, I gotta say, is definitely important. If you love a movie, buy it. Don't just do streaming or put it in a file, because I mentioned this before, but I've had friends who called me a fool for continuing to buy discs and like Blu-rays, 4Ks, DVDs, and they go, I'll stream it, or I download them, or I do streaming, and then the streaming content is pulled, or their files get corrupted, and they come crawling to me. Oh, by the way, can I borrow? And I'm like, no, because for one thing, loaning out stuff to people is very iffy. You don't know if you're going to get it back, even though they swear they will. I lost my original VHS for the first nudie musical on the media label on the VHS to a coworker. She moved, quit the job. I never got it back. So stuff like that has happened, and discs can come back.
My friend's dogs ate my Planet of the Apes collection.
Fuck.
I know what you mean.
Fuck. And I've had discs. That's why I hated renting DVDs, though, because now Blu-rays don't get smudged or scratched for some reason, but DVDs, I would rent them and they wouldn't play right because people just touch them. They leave them. They put them down. They don't just, and they ruin them. So that's the thing. But yeah, physical media, I like to own them. So I always tell people, if you love a movie, yeah, buy it, because you never know. And I'm really upset that there are a lot of movies that never made it to disc. Like recently, buy them, rip them, I buy them, rip them, stream them. Yeah, well, and also, like I have one person I know who loves Meet the Applegates, or some people call it Meet the Applegates, and never released on disc. It was VHS in the 80s. That was it, from New World Pictures. Apparently Lionsgate owns it now in their vault, but they won't release it. Although I have a bootleg, nice, pristine, widescreen, with the Lionsgate gear logo on it. And so I can watch it, and, you know, it's not going to get ruined. Whereas the VHS could always break or something happen to it. But that's so, it's like with, yeah, well, like with Static, my favorite movie, Static, with Keith Gordon. The only way you can get it is if you find the old VHS, or you buy the Substance label bootleg off of Amazon or maybe eBay, and it's a VHS rip. But Mark Romanek won't let anyone restore it. He doesn't like the film, and it's stupid because I know a lot of people who consider it one of their favorite films of all time. But it's not officially on disc, and that is a criminal thing, just like Ken Russell's The Devils. Even Guillermo del Toro put out a full-page letter to Warner Brothers saying, let this movie get restored complete, uncut. Warner Brothers will not let anyone have it. They let BFI restore it in a cut version for a disc release in Europe. But fuck that. I want the full cut. Everything about that film is important. Even that church scene and other stuff. It's all there for a reason. And Warner Brothers feeling uncomfortable about it because of it, you know, sacrilege and stuff. Well, then they shouldn't fucking have the movie in the first place. Let someone else have it. And just like Mark Romanek, if you're out there, or someone tell, yes, Static, 1985, Mark Romanek, you know, 1 hour photo Mark Romanek, who ruined that movie by putting the ending at the beginning, so you know that Robin Williams is caught. So everything that happens in the movie, there's no suspense because we know what happens to him. So what the fuck? But Static is a meaningful film. It hit me hard emotionally. Everyone I got to rent it when I worked in a video store brought it back and said, oh my God, that ending. And oh my God, it's a great film. And I don't think it's because of the music rights, because there's music by The and Elvis and I think Yellow Magic Orchestra in it. But Mark Romanek has said on Twitter, I do not want this film to see the light of day again. When somebody begged to have it, you know, let a boutique label have it. No, he won't even let a boutique label just put it out. It's like, that's being pompous. So I don't care if Romanek, you don't like what I have to say. We love this movie. And Keith Gordon loves talking about it on podcasts. And me just, and I'm going on. I stand by what I say, and I stand by my beard. So there we go. So last broadcast, and the other one I wanted to bring up to folks, I don't know if there's going to be a domestic North American release. Maybe. No word. But for now, the movie Freaked, the Alex Winter film. By the way,
nice.
Those that don't know, an uncredited Keanu Reeves as Dog Boy. There's Brooke Shields. This is the Anchor Bay DVD that was really cool with the flip cover and everything. Well, Umbrella out of Australia is putting out in, I think, November or December, a deluxe rigid case edition with all kinds of amazing new stuff. And I think it's 4K. And I think Umbrella announced that if you order from them, they've added something that you can select that will like take care of the tariff thing. Because, but it's a numbered like 4K edition. And then I think there's a regular edition that, and I know that I pre-ordered mine from Diabolic DVD, and it's expensive. It's $99 plus the tax and shipping is like $115 just for this. Well, the umbrella edition, but it's coming from Australia, and you can get the standard, or you can, while they still have it to pre-order, the numbered edition. This movie is a must for everybody. Freaked, there you go. See, you get all this good stuff if you get the deluxe one. I think it's worth it. Sure, that amount of money. They do a great job, but for instance, I wanted to order the movie Creep, the one with Franco Potente, the subway movie. And it was like $40-something for the Blu-ray, the set they had, but the shipping was like $23. And this was before the tariffs thing. The shipping was $23, and then of course, like, I'm in California. I don't know if it's in every state, but then there's a tax added. So I was like, I'm not paying $78 for that movie. Freaked, I gotta say, is kind of worth it. But if you can get the old Anchor Bay DVD, that's pretty cool too. I also have it on VHS. I bought it when a Schnucks grocery store in St. Louis had VHSs to sell after they were rentals, and I picked up a copy of Freaked. So Freaked, definitely consider it. It's expensive as fuck. I don't know if there was going to be a domestic release after the umbrella. You never know. And when the deluxe ones are gone, then you're going to unfortunately find them on eBay going for twice the amount. And I don't want to do that. But yeah, I love umbrella titles. I have quite a few actually, but ones that I got through like Diabolic at a reasonable price. And I'm also, Umbrella sometimes partners through Vinegar Syndrome. I have a few umbrella titles like Undead via Vinegar Syndrome. So you have to hunt everywhere. You have to and check their website for sure, but those prices are a killer. And other than that, I don't know if this is going to be people, maybe Chillers knows. I like to collect Shudder titles when they put them out on disc. Some are on DVD only, but I know that when it's on Blu-ray, Walmart will only carry the DVD. So sometimes I'll find the Blu-ray at Barnes & Noble. But this one was just put out. Dark Match. Wrestling with Mr. Og. Love him. And I don't know if it's any good or not. I got it because it's a Shudder. And sure, I could watch it on Shudder. But as I said, physical media, man. Because you never know. So, I guess that's all the fun. Oops, hang on a second. I pulled out my microphone. Oh, God, hang on. See, that's the thing about, I wish I had a photo of what I look like here in front of my computer. There are cords everywhere. Headphones, microphone, keyboard. And I stood up and I stepped on the cord and it yanked the mic out of my microphone. So I know, TMI. But I don't know. I really, really appreciate that this one ran on.
Oh, yeah, it should.
Forever today. And I promise to those watching who don't want to sit through hours of me and you guys who control the show, Jack and Chris, you know, if ever you guys need the shows to be shorter, I'm fine with that. We had so much fun today. And Static is on the Roku channel. Yes, it is. But from what I'm told, it's still just the VHS rip. Because MCEG put out the VHS. And I don't know if Mark Romanek had to get it back from them or what, but he apparently got the film back. He won't let anyone have it, which is bullshit. And so anything you see, whether it's on streaming or even the DVD-R, it's the VHS rip. So I hope that one day before I leave this planet, somebody will get it from him and give that film it's proper respect. So that's my deal. And again, I know we ran on super long today, but as long as you had a good time and as long as you guys were willing, I'm fine with that. So I thought, well, the show's going to end at about 12:30 or 1, and I'll have my lunch and take a nap. And here it is, almost 3 p.m. my time. But I'm fine with that. I enjoy this. I'm so happy to be able to express and vent. And I know I do this at the end of each show, but I appreciate that y'all are still watching. Yep, see, that's my closing remarks. That's a good, Chris. You got that. For Chillers and Ward and all of you who stick through the whole show, I appreciate it. We've always got something different going on. And next week, I believe, and I will message him again, is Joe Badon, who is the genius behind Wheel of Heaven, which you can get on Blu-ray on Movie Zing, Z-Y-N-G, and also Amazon. It's got commentaries. This is worth the money. Thank you, Ward. I appreciate it. Mwah. And thank you, Chillers. Get Wheel of Heaven. And I don't know if you'll get it before the show, but maybe you can find it out there. Because when we interview Joe, I'd really love people to have seen the movie and understand what we're talking about, because it's going to be fun. Also, in the meantime, go on either YouTube to watch the Todd Sampler Wheel of Heaven. There's a very lengthy review there. I also have the same review on my Todd Jaeger Vimeo channel. But if you search for that, you might not find it because it's mature listed. So you got to scroll. It's not too far in, or you can log in if you have a Vimeo account, clear your filters, and find it in the search. Next week, Wheel of Heaven, Joe Badon. And we don't have a movie selected yet for our review. This week was Woods Witch. So, Jack, if you have any ideas, or what was the one we were talking about earlier that I said would have been great for us to watch? My head's gone. But I said, that we should talk about that one, and I can't remember what it was. Well, we'll figure something out.
Oh, yeah.
And who knows? Maybe even sometime we can talk about Amityville Karen. Like I said, this was not as great as Woods Witch, but they're still fun to be had.
I'll watch that one, I guess.
You want to what? You want to go with this one or something more prolific since
fine.
Wheel of Heaven?
We'll watch Wheel of Heaven anyway. We'll watch Wheel of Heaven anyway.
Oh yeah, because you were able to see it. Yeah. Yes. But all to you viewers out there, I don't know if it's out there on streaming anywhere. Like I said, Movie Zing got my copy pretty quickly within a week, but I don't know if you'd be able to get one by next Sunday if you ordered it like right now. But it is worth owning. So even after you see us talk about it, you should have it to watch, because it's a movie that you will have not force yourself. You'll want to watch it over and over because it's so complex. Did you get through it yet?
Not yet. No.
Okay. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Yeah, it's brilliant. So, okay. Well, thank you all. I appreciate you all for sticking by us and hanging in there. And wow, I'm just I'm so astounded by all this. So thank you guys, and thank you, Chris, thank you, Jack, and thank you to our Brock and Daniel and Bill Weeden, of course, who's always welcome on. And tune in next Sunday at the same time for Wheel of Heaven and Joe Badon. Crossing my fingers, I'm sure he will be. And yeah, so other than that, if you got anything else to conclude with, and
have a great Sunday, everybody. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, same here. And Chris, whether you're gonna throw up some music or just cut us out, thank you, folks, for the Todd Jaeger experience. I'm Todd Quality Jaeger, and there's
Captain Cartoon.